get a news update, brother Tunto Spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia Tunto Spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just Tunto Spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. If you eat Kepan, congratulate my brother Tunto Spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You wanna get a news update, Tunto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today? Spoon TV. Yes, what you about today? Spoon TV. Spoon Ba-da-ba-de-ba-de-ba. Skiddy-biddy-biddy-da-ba-do.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Moravia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just Tunto Spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just Tunto Spoon. You want to get a news update, brother Tunto Spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia Tunto Spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just Tunto Spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. If you eat Kepan, congratulate my brother Tunto Spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You wanna get a news update, Tunto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today?
Spoon TV.
Yes, what you about today?
Spoon
Yes, I, a special one from the CEOs, Dan coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa.
Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjama, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep on graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon.
Indeed, you're from Vanjama, you're from Maryland, you're from Grand Crew, you're from Sino County, of course, Tonto Spoon from across the 15 counties of Liberia. I'd like to say welcome to the program, Spoon Talk. Of course, this is Liberia's biggest talk show on radio and online. This is where you get authentic information about all of the major happenings across the country. I'd like to say welcome to you if you are somewhere across the world. I'd like to say welcome to this edition of the program. Of course, Spoon Talk is here, is back on your radio. We are coming to you live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're live on Fabric 101.1 FM, and we're live on Super 95.5 FM as well. That's for the Spoon Network. And across other frequencies in Liberia, we are coming to you live on Punch 106.7 FM. We are being relayed on Gibi FM in Kakata, Margibi County. Gibi FM is 90.9. That's Gibi FM there in Kakata, Margibi County. Trend Radio in Grand Crew County, 104.7 is also relaying this program. We're being relayed on Premier FM 98.1 in Bon County, and of course Trust FM 88.7 in Bowman County. I'd like to say welcome to this space where you get to receive authentic information about all of the major happenings in Liberia every single day. This is Spoon Talk, where you get to interact with the newsmakers and you get to receive all of the breaking news right here. So welcome to it again on this 27th day of January 2024. We're gradually winding down the curtain on the first month of the year. I know a lot of people waited eagerly for 2024, and it seemed like a dream, realizing that we've almost concluded on the first month of the year. So, what are some of the happenings? What are some of the trending issues to tell you about here shortly, just before moving in to bring you our moving in to bring you our uh view segment, or open the lines for you to call in and tell us what's on your mind. Lots of things happening in the country, so many things. Of course, the president, His Excellency, um, President Joseph Yuma Boakai. Sorry about that. President Joseph Yuma Boakai is getting all set to present the State of the Nation address. As most of you are aware, this is slated for Monday. So, the Monday, the President of the Republic of Liberia will um will tell the people of Liberia, Liberians in and out of the country, uh, the state of the nation in line with tradition. He will be present at the legislature. And so, on the fourth working Monday in January of each year, it's expected that the president will present the State of the Nation address to tell us where we are as a country, uh, economically and health wise. I mean, just all of the sectors. Where exactly does Liberia stand? This is not just something that's done out of the blue sky. This is in line with Article 58 of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia, which provides that the president of the republic, whoever that person is, should be in the position, should avail him or herself uh, at the first branch of government, at the legislature, and present to the people of Liberia through their representatives at the House, at both houses, both the House of Representatives and the Senate, the state of the nation. So on Monday, the president will be telling Liberians where exactly he met the country. Yes, we saw President George. We are the outgoing president. He presented his farewell message, told Liberians exactly what he met in the covers, what he's living there, and a lot more, health wise and other areas. What are what have been the level of progress made so far, and a lot more he spoke of. But we will be hearing from the president himself, President Boakai, on Monday. So that is that. Just a quick one because I see Dr. Richardson is coming on. She's getting set. Once she's ready, I'm going to bring her on. Um, Here in Liberia, the fishery sector has been one of the places that was very dormant for a while, especially after the civil war in our country. And of course, there have been some strides made. There has been some progress made upon the ascendancy of Madam Edma Mente Glasgow. And so Liberians, for a couple of days now, have been witnessing something which is considered a milestone, especially with the commissioning of a vessel. Now, in 2023, precisely the 31st of January, the government of Liberia and the Kingdom of Morocco, they went into a memorandum of understanding. They signed onto that document, and to help the sector, to help the fishery sector in Liberia here, and especially help Liberia get to realize our potential, and then subsequently they can be able to identify areas that they can be able to come in. So finally, the vessel was brought to Liberia. It was commissioned on Friday. Fisheries ministers from three countries, from the Kingdom of Morocco, from Guinea, and that of Ivory Coast, they were present in Liberia. They've been here for about 3 days. They concluded a successful meeting in the tour today. And yes, they have commenced, or they've started the research. So basically, this vessel is going to be in Liberia for the next 14 days. They are on the waters right now. Immediately following the commissioning of the vessel, they went on the shores of Liberia, into the Liberian waters. They've started a research assessment, and the purpose of this assessment is to establish as to the different kinds of species we have within the Liberian waters. What are the kind of fishes we have in Liberia? Where exactly can you find those fishes? And what are their habitats? What does it look like? And then following that 14-day assessment, the team will be coming back to tell us exactly what Liberia stands to benefit and what Liberia stands to offer when it comes to the fishery sector of our country. As you know, we have a long coastal belt, of course. And I listened to the head of NAFA when she said that next to Nigeria in the sub-region, Liberia has the longest coastal, belt. And of course, so that means that Liberia stands to benefit a lot once it is established that we have sufficient, um, you know, number of those species that are of demand on the world market. That sector will be one that will just provide so many jobs for Liberians across the country. So a lot more to talk about, so many happenings, but today is going to be a jam-packed show. So let me bring in Dr. Richardson, and we will then go.
Nelson, you went mute on me.
Ah,
You are just muted for a little bit. I didn't hear what you said. When you
ah,
when you came in, there was some interruption. There was a break inside. I didn't hear what you said.
oh,
Were you saying
oh.
something? I heard the end of bringing in Dr. Richardson, and then I didn't hear what you said after that.
Okay, so I was saying, let me bring in Dr. Richardson, and then after that, we will be going to the lines to take few calls.
Oh, okay.
Folks,
Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't hear that part. Yeah, you can go ahead and take a few calls. I can
Okay,
listen. Mhm.
okay, okay. Yeah, so I think that's the issue with technology. It has a good side and it has its own faults as well.
You
It's not
sound like
perfect.
you sound like you have a cold.
Exactly.
I can hear in your voice.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. Okay, so let's take some calls. Let's hear from the folks out there. Call us up now on 05551010750 05551010750, and I'm going to pin the WhatsApp number on the screen here for you to call in. At this point, we want you to call in and tell us exactly what that issue is that is of concern to you. Anything you want to talk about, there's nothing specific at this particular point. You can call in now and express yourselves on those different issues of concerns, be it health, sanitation, education, politics, or whatever. So let's take your calls now on the numbers. The WhatsApp number is pinned right on the screen, but let's take our first call from the WhatsApp line. Hello, you live, sir. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, how are you, Nathan?
Yes, sir.
Dada Francie. Look, Nathan, I got two things on my mind which I want to discuss on this platform.
Okay.
That's um rumor that go around but Prince Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What
it's not good
kind
to
of rumor
bring
going around about him?
every time the people say Prince Johnson killed Pete Johnson, do this and that. Look, listen, let's be fair to all the people, man. I don't try to bring old thing back, but before those, when those took over, he put 13 people on the pole and killed them. Those that was other people's father, uncle, and etc. etc.
Okay.
But before Prince Johnson could come, I'm a living witness. I was in Southern Korea.
Yes, sir. You want to
I was
summarize that so that we take others as well, because you know you are the first caller and we have just limited time, sir.
Okay, no problem, Nathan. But let me go to the second problem.
Yeah.
I will talk about Prince Johnson case one other time. But this about this inauguration, these people meant to kill our president. They meant to kill him, but you know,
Okay.
God is protecting Joseph Boakai, and He will continue to protect him.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Because
sir.
the thing that happened over there, the people take the money and went and eat it, and then they turn around, they want to play games with the Liberian people.
Thank you.
They must investigate them. And
Thank you, sir.
anybody that find guilty, they must lock them up.
Thank you, sir. Let's go you there and take another person on the line. Let's try to be very much, brief, just to the point, so we take others. Hello, you live. Your name and where you call from?
Hi, my name is Anna. I'm calling from Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Richardson. I'm a nurse practitioner here in in Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
Nelson, I'm so proud of you. Watching you, it almost feels as though that you are in the United States. It almost feels like you're in the United States. Oh, I enjoy Diamond. Diamond, I so enjoy him very much. The question, what's on my mind is that, is there going to be any press briefing like we do here in the United States, where the press secretary will brief the people and the press will ask questions and all of that? And all of that. This is my first time really paying attention to Liberian politics. So
Okay.
I would love to see that.
You mean on Monday? You mean on
Let
Monday?
me answer that for her, if I can.
You know that
Okay.
here we frequently have press briefing in the White House.
Okay. Dr. Richardson says she wants to respond to
Today
that.
we're going to have the press secretary on, and that's a wonderful question to ask her. I actually had that question on my mind as well. She's going to be the one who I think would be the best person to answer that question for us, because she's the press secretary in the United States. The press secretary does the press briefing from the White House, or routinely. So let's ask her, okay?
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your contribution. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So we take another person here. Hello, you're live, your name and where you calling from. Oh, there's an issue with this. Hello, are you there? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're live. Let's hear you.
Hi, Dr. Richardson. This is Evangeline Mamita. Speaker had just spoke, and nobody did nothing to Omebwakai. The place was hot. You're in another degree, they put bulletproof vest on the man with a heavy African suit, with no water around, no fan around. In America, yeah, as cold as it is, when it get hot, they can get heat warning. Even a 2-year-old baby, they can tell them to keep in the house. So how about someone who is old at his age and not really up there? So please just leave this thing alone and stop making us story.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your contribution. Let's go to this line and take some calls from here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Oh, Nelson.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
My dear child and the line end up point from Pinsville.
Okay.
Specific on the Puebla.
Okay.
Oh, my concern has to do with the trust issue in our country, Nelson. Nelson, the trust in the country, the youth are going astray. So I'm also our new off, man. I'm also our baby to all he can do to trust in our country. The dealer, the importer, when they are caught, let them be punished. Thank you for your show, Nelson.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your contribution. Let's take another person. Hello, you're live.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you very much, Nelson. This is Darius Pawan, and I come from Pusher Island.
Okay, let's hear you, Darius.
Okay. Yeah. Firstly, I would like to congratulate all Liberians for the peaceful conduct of the elections.
Okay.
And also a big thank you to the outgoing president for his conception and the level of maturity and leadership that he has exhibited. And also want to congratulate President Buhari and Vice President Kun.
Thank you.
But we have a problem with inauguration, and we want the president to initiate an investigation so that no deterrence
can be said.
But again, the appointment the president is doing, I think, is on a good footing. Based on criticism, I think we look at the president of Chile.
Thank you.
The appointment should be based on qualification and credibility, right?
Thank you, sir.
So
thank you.
We are all Liberians, and whoever the president feels that he chose to be, I think we should give him the opportunity to select his and his cabinet.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person on the line. Hello, you live. Your name and where you call from?
My name is Musu Benson.
Okay.
I just want to say hi to you guys, and Dr. Richardson, I love you so much. I just like to see you on the show. You are so beautiful and intelligent. My concern, I get one concern is for JFK, it can improve on the health sector in Liberia. And it's various schools, too many schools. zero houses, and the children not getting quality education, or we can pay attention to the school and the health sector. Check in the government can do something with JFK. We really appreciate everything.
Okay.
That's Casey, I love you.
Love you too. Love you too. Thank you so much for the support and the comment.
Thank you. Well, we take another person here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you're calling from? Hello.
Yeah, hello. My name is Ryan Kamara.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you sure, man. You know, my concern have to do with the president.
Okay.
You know, for the past 2 months, I have been advocating for Dr. Francois and Mr.
Dualu, eh?
Up to present. Yeah, up to present, all of those Nina coming on. We can
We've
hear
been
anything.
watching the list, but our Nina being quiet.
And Mr. Dualu into that government. It
Thank
doesn't
you.
mean because she's from the 1% group, but she had to be included in that government.
Well, we're making the
Thank
list yet.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Person I love the 1%. Couldn't tell me.
But we make you.
Hello, you live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello? Hello? Okay, there seems to be an issue here. We take this person. Hello, you live. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Honorable Ayuba Fona, calling from UAE Abu Dhabi to Bikuta.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on the show this morning.
Okay.
I'm happy to see the president going back to the house for the address, to give an annual address again. I hope that the proper mechanisms have been put into place, and the same thing will repeat itself again.
Okay. Thank you.
And the others are coming.
Mm-hmm.
And the others, they are always talking about this one. Every day I'm talking about this. About my darling sister, Dr. Francine.
Okay.
I'm appealing to the president to please, I know she's doing a better job in America, but please look at her to concept for country.
Oh.
That's my appeal every day I'm on this show.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank
Francine,
you.
please, for the president call you, please accept.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're looking at the Marshall list. So every time looking at the press secretary Facebook page and all that, second the Marshall list. Didn't quite all need yet, but thank you anyways. We make it, yeah, we make it.
So we take 3 more calls that the richest in, and we turn over to you. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Yes, hello?
Yeah, hello, you're live. Let's hear you, ma'am.
Yeah, this is Dorothy calling from the U.S.
Okay.
I'm calling you, Nelson. I didn't forget you. I will be coming soon. I'm looking at you and Dr. Francine.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Dr. Francine that I took picture with her niece in Delaware, and when I come to Liberia, Nelson, I have a lot of pictures of you guys on my phone.
That is so nice.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. We
your
appreciate
late night show. I have a lot of pictures on your late night show.
That's
I have
nice.
so many pictures. I will bring
I was
them
calling.
to
May
you,
I have your name,
okay?
please?
Okay, so will you mind telling us your name again?
My name is Dorothy. I'm calling from Albany.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
Albany,
you,
New York.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I hope I will see you guys soon. I'm preparing to come.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we take this second to the last call. Hello. Yeah. Hello.
My name is Winnie. I'm calling from Massachusetts, Boston.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I would first like to thank you for the show. I always watch the show, but my concern due to the issue of the director of police.
Okay.
The director of police, that he's not the only person we have in the country to serve as director of police. there are many capable people in that country to serve as director of police. And that director of police have been part of a lot of corruption things, a lot of criminal things. I've been knowing that guy from quite time.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Have there been any investigation that you know of that was conducted and then he was brought down as a result of maybe some of his misconduct and some of what you're talking about? Is there anything official on that? Aside from just the allegation and stuff like that?
It's not an issue of allegation. I have seen that guy in serious activities.
Thank you, sir.
Serious activities.
Thank you, sir.
So the issue here is that, the issue here is that we have competent people to serve that country. It's not only a Gregory Common. You cannot continue using one person or that's why the system will be messed up.
Thank you.
You have to change. You have to change the system.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So we'll take the last call from here now, then we wrap up. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you're calling from? Hello? 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 Hello, are you...
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, my name is Marie Kukwe, and I'm speaking to you from Delaware.
Okay.
My concern really is with education because I know that Liberia is brain drained, and they really need the education ministry really need trained teachers. And we know the standard of our high schools now and our colleges. So if I were to suggest, I would really suggest that the Minister of Education pay keen attention to upgrading the high school teachers and the college teachers.
Okay. Thank you.
Through websites and whatnot, because the content is important. They do not have the content.
Thank you.
If you have the content, the methodology will be easier, but without the content, the methodology will never come.
I just love hearing that woman talk, man. It sounds like she knows a lot about education, and she could be used even through volunteering to get teachers together to support the education, or even talking to the government consultancy. But she sounds like she knows what she's about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for your contribution. Okay, so Dr. Regency?
Yeah, so Glendy, hello.
Hi, Dr. Regency. Hi, Nelson. How are you?
Hi. We're doing good, and it's good to see you.
I know. Happy Saturday.
Yes, I know. We are here again today. I just want to tell all the callers, thank you for calling in and expressing your views. This is, the beauty of this station. We'd like to hear you guys talk. You never know who you're giving feedback or advice or ideas. Many people are listening, but I love to just hear Liberians calling, and also, to those women that call us. A lot of women calling today. Surprising, right, Nelson?
Yeah. I thought I was the only person who noticed that.
No, which is good. A lot of, because I've been here for a while, and always is mostly men that call in. But yeah, it was just good to hear very, very astute women calling in.
And interestingly, there was one time when one of the callers reached out. I think it was off the show, and the person said, "Don't you think there's a need for an exclusive line for just females, for only females to call in and be able to contribute?" I said, "Oh, okay, it sounds good." But I think,
we tried that before. I think we have tried that, and other radio stations have tried that, I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the only positive reason that I can think about is that the line gets dominated by male callers because they're used to calling and they know how to call, and they have burning issues. This has been their space for the most part. And so if we have another line, that would be at least giving women the opportunity to call in, because it would be not as busy as the other line, and then we'll hear the voice. But, a lot of the calls were women. I think, if I remember, 3 of the calls were women from the States, from the United States. In fact, or maybe all of them were. So that's That was interesting today. Just keep calling. Again, like I said, we need the advice. We need the comments. You never know who's listening. The press secretary could be listening and taking notes and passing it on to her boss.
True.
Yeah. So yeah. So today we're gonna have a spirited show. I'm waiting for your boss to come in. Glennie, I'm waiting for you and Nelson boss to come in.
I know, right? You coming today with Tabitha.
Yes.
Today again.
Exactly. So, but before that time, today I believe we have,
Praise
pepper salt, fire, everything coming. The pepper salt, fire, earth, wind, and fire, everything coming. They listening to us and say, "Oh, the $20." Listen to the guys, they gossiping about me.
Gossiping about me.
Yeah.
No, he was not yet. That secret we're talking, he was not yet.
Yeah, right. He was like, I mean, little, he care for anything that I never see him being like a CEO. I swear to God. You not see him being like a CEO? Oh, yeah. I mean,
he could care less. Yeah,
I love being a psychologist, but the other head to go inside, he said.
Hey, how about the psychologist?
Yeah, I know if people can see my face. I mean, a lot of people can come in my facial expressions or something. I can tell you, like, I'm just lost for words right now. I have nothing to say. It's like, it's hard. Very hard.
That crew man, he came from Nukutan. What do you expect?
No, but some cool people, I know some cool people, man.
I know him, man. Pepper him plenty of times.
Yeah, promise you.
Pepper him. Nothing can catch him.
Because I've been knowing some crew people. In fact, I had a crew conversation with a crew person that morning. A crew journalist called me because they were talking about the show, how they appreciate the show, and he was. We could carry on a conversation. He was very reasonable. He was when I fight.
They said it to you won't put somebody in. You alone will be in. And that is
you said to tell me I don't see you listening. No, so today we're gonna have the press secretary coming on today.
Yes.
Kola Fuana, I believe, right? I know I used to call Kola Fuana, but I think she got married. I see there's another name attached to her name. So she's the newly elected or nominated, or I'm sorry, not elected, the newly appointed. Yes, appointed press secretary. So she's going to come and tell us everything she knows. I would love to be on a fly on the wall when she and the president, when they're talking. So we're going to have that conversation with her. I'm sure she's going to be open with us. And then we have the Commerce Minister, the newly appointed, right? Commerce Minister coming in. His name, I've seen
Amin Modad.
Amin Modad. Yeah.
There's three guys that I get them confused all the time. That's Moali, Amin Modad, and the other guy, Dada something. I always get him confused. But Amin Modad will be here. He's actually from the Commerce Ministry. He's the newly appointed Commerce Minister. He's not from the Commerce Ministry. He's worked and has had different businesses in the country. So we'll be asking them questions about Liberia. This show is about Liberia. We can talk about other things, but primarily we speak about Liberia. We might make analogy to other different conversations. So yeah, that's what we're doing here today. Participate today. Enjoy the show. If you have questions, you can type it in the viewer section. That's sometimes a lot of fun can be going on in that section there. So we look forward to having a great show. So people are telling me I'm looking for trouble today. You don't want to start out and say, you're looking for a problem, they'll see you. He coming.
All the thing was talking.
Yeah, secret out there talking.
What happened?
Nothing
happened. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, Glennie? Glennie, stop calling me. Glennie, you must say.
I don't even call you. I don't even call you, please.
Hey, I gotta let the people know you acting more than.
Listen to the man. I don't even call you.
What you acting for? You acting more than Fatima now. Fatima was the one that used to be calling me every time, but you acting more than Fatima.
Fatima back here?
I don't know. I really don't know because Glennie called me more than Fatima now. She was send me text message about the 50,000 requests from Ledgerwood Rennie. She sent me different information. And, you know, she sent me a message about what we should talk about. Yata family. And you know, I got all the messages from my phone.
I should have joined you to gossip about his dog. I should have joined you.
No, but it's all right. I'm not mad, Glenny. It's all right. You know, I know when you wake up, when you wake up in the morning, it's all right. When you wake up in the morning, you know, you look at everything she sent me. Let me go to Glenny. How you gonna delete it, Glenny?
He's gonna share the chat with you.
No. No, I hope you're not deleted, Glenny. I hope you're not deleted.
Why would you delete it for?
You see, she got her son. She got her son as a profile. What's her profile, right? That's her son. So to tell you that, that's your son, that's your nephew.
My son, I said shout out to him. He wants to get.
I said that's your son.
He's putting a map. He's putting like.
But Dr. Richardson, wait. I'll bring her the story up.
Let me go.
My thing is that to tell the people that Glenny been texting me, look, just today alone, it started from early this morning, 4:33 in the morning.
Look at that.
Glenny is thinking about me. 4:33 in the morning.
Can
Who
you
will
imagine?
4:33 in the morning and start conversation with me? Who?
Please show the time. Please show that 4:33.
I'm showing it. The first thing she sent me, Liberia Public Radio, when Buffer Chima conceded, you know.
We're not even 4:33 in the morning.
That's it. I will send it to you. Please call it because we need to play this. He have acknowledged
prior information.
No, it's all
Buffer Chima. But that's information she's saying that what you can show to the public.
We gotta play. The man considered to enter the wedding. What are you talking about?
Public news.
Yeah, I thought you were sitting other text.
No,
Doc, I don't say anything except news. And honestly, what he do, I send it to him. He asking me, so he consider. I say yes.
But wait, now I don't want to bring it up. But listen, Granny, something you gotta understand. The people on the show, they believe Stanton Witherspoon. No matter what you ask, if I would say, they believe me. Yeah. No matter what you your brother, if I would say that people believe me so badly, they trust this network. They will die for the network. They follow the network because we give the people nothing but the news that come with entertainment. So this is why Glenny did 4:33 a.m. She said me, I was sleeping. My phone just went.
Look. So 4:33 and not sleeping.
Well, wait, now, Glenny, let me do my own talking. Then you can do your own. You want to go first?
4:33 and not sleeping.
All right, so let's get Glenny the chair. Let's get Glenny the chair. Let you go first. Glenny, go ahead first. Go first.
It was not even 4:33 a.m. I think it was like around 9. I saw somebody sent me the link with Buffer Chimers conceding. And it's a news. It's newsworthy to share that he conceded today and made a speech. And I share it with you. That's it. And then I send you the thing from Ledgerwood, the letter from Ledgerwood. And I was not even for work. Please don't make the people be. I know since Lawa know he lying. What
was that? What was that news from Ledgerwood?
No, Richardson, don't get in our conversation.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I will be quiet.
I want our people to understand this. When I say something, they people believe it.
Okay.
I'm the only person I believe in Liberia right now can tell the people what is for everybody. And what you know about me talking to. Okay? But don't talk all. Just talk some. Don't talk all. You know? So Glenny, you finish?
I finish with you. Talk what you want to. I get that for you.
She texted me, just not begging me. She just texted me.
I'm tired of it, man.
Let me tell you something. But you gotta understand. Listen, the woman just sent me a text to you. She just sent me a text. See you, I beg you, let it go. Don't be frank. It's not me. It's not about me, right? It's not about me. It's about exactly what we're talking about. 4:33 in the morning.
Look at that.
My phone went blip, 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 blip.
That's somebody from the bureau calling you. Then
No, and I Glenn near Pierre.
But show the message what I just said now.
So I will now. Let's take it step by step. We start the show, yeah. Kola is coming on. Amin coming on. We start here. But we'll do this thing the best way we can. Nelson, the message Glenny said, you finish uploading it, we'll take it one at a time.
You actually okay.
You finish uploading it? That's why you can leave our business alone. Why are you
sorry?
You see, I always say that I always tell you, for you to have a good conversation, you should be real with your audience. Yeah, you should tell your audience the truth.
Business like confidential is very confidentiality is very important. So
confidentiality where? I think I get confidentiality in my blood.
I got no confidentiality in my blood. You're right.
Not in blood.
Yeah, they think about confidentiality that we're destroying like bro to the confidentiality that our people. Yeah, you don't let us start talking earlier to this Saturday. Nelson, that's my piggy.
Tomorrow Sunday.
Have you uploaded the information?
The information is almost up, sir.
Yeah, please, just call right there. Plan, don't be scared. Don't be scared, baby. Don't be scared. Do not be afraid. Have faith. That faith has made thee whole. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Granny sent me Liberia Public Radio. They were running live with former Speaker Buffer Chamber.
Very good, Glenn.
Conceding to Anthony Williams. And that's a good thing, and we play.
Yes.
When Glenny sent me there, I texted her back. I said, Glenny, has he conceded? Glenny said yes and spilled in the beans. I said, now mind my business. 4:35 a.m. Granny sent me the next message. The message was, dear Councillor Gray, Dewar Gray, we'll put that other one up. So then I said, wow. 5:01 a.m.
Look at that.
Granny sent me another message saying, from the newspaper, IAA Commission Special Audit of 2024.
Let me send you that message.
Hey, man. And you say you finished? You say you finished? Let me turn on.
I told you.
Mayor. Tag the Regency, you get that message. What he saying about IAA? Now he coming to come.
The Regency cannot speak in English because between you and myself, she is not part of our conversation. So you gotta wait.
My daughter can say between A and B, C or say A.
Yeah, C or say other A. But I will ask you, you want to proceed or you want me to stop?
No,
the people asking you.
Proceed.
You sure? Yes. I would say everything.
Anything you want to say that you say the people believe you. If I don't say they will not believe me. So you want to say I woke up 1 o'clock, said I found. Okay. You think I can make a friend with you and your people?
Smart, Glenny, smart.
I'm not going there with you and people. If people they will believe it.
That's
the other guy we talking about show confidentiality. Low up feeling balaro. CEO, if you don't have confidentiality in your life, then tell us the amount of money you have in your account. Tono will fire you. Tono will fire you. That's what we're talking about. Folks, Glenny, as always, we appreciate you on Spoon Talk. You know, we want to say we're going to be having a wonderful show tonight. We have Kola Fuana said she was at Freeport. She running coming because you know she was somewhere in Bombay. She's leaving Bombay, coming to town. She will be in the studio shortly. Amin Modad said that he was leaving Grand Bassa. He got stuck in traffic. He will be home to come on the show. A lot of good things happening today in the country. We must say to every one of you guys, thank you very much for joining us. Dualu said he will be joining us shortly from Monrovia, Liberia. He will come on the show on Monday. When I was speaking to Dualu was with somebody. I heard a female voice.
I mean, why?
That originally why you know about a thing.
You read it.
Yeah, then you can do your own. I'm begging you. That's the richest thing. Were you there when I was speaking to the man? Were you there?
I said sorry, boss.
Yeah. Then correction. You can spot the show up. This is entertainment. Then the man come out and say that my wife. You cannot say because you actually you wasn't on the call.
You're part of a lawyer. Why not forget that?
I'm saying about Dwalu. Dwalu called me. I said I mind my business. He called me.
And what he said?
Then when I asked him, I said, Dwalu, who the woman in the corner? He froze.
Oh.
And that my wife, he was say, oh, that my wife. Dwalu called me and Dwalu said, I just got in time. I will be on the show on Monday. That's what Dwalu told me. Then I heard the female talking.
And I told you, how's he calling you from?
No, he said he was driving.
Oh,
as
so
a matter
somebody in the car.
As a matter of fact, let's call Dwalu. Maybe your thing. Yeah, let's call Dwalu. And yo, when I hear that female talking,
I told Dwalu about the entire Liberia.
And yo, when I hear that female talking, they don't believe me. Let's call Dwalu. Hello? 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 A man scared to talk again. If that the man web, he was going to answer the phone. To be fair, you know, my thing is that I'm very careful what I do in my life. I wake up in the morning, Granny, saying you are asking for my schedule. I don't know why you want my schedule for. Let me give it to you. No. I'll tell people. I go to my Wi-Fi, I get my coffee. I get my piece of bagel with mayonnaise in it. I eat it. I watch my TV. I do some work. Or go down the office.
What work you doing?
Something about what we do here, work to earn money. And at the end of the day, I call it a day. I don't go anywhere. Whole day they got him behind me. Mom will call me. I said, Mom, don't call me. He told me, say, Mommy, I ain't willing, boy. You want me to see you? I said, Mom, no. I don't go and see people because I watch my step. So if you're calling me, I got to tell the Liberian people where I am and what I'm doing. That's why the Liberian people follow me every day. So let's call Dwalu. You'll say I'm making a mistake, the phone ringing. Let's see what he will pick up. Let's see what Dwalu will pick up.
I don't know. That's why.
Dwalu can pick up. Dwalu can pick up. If Dwalu think that's a joke, he will pick up right now and answer the call. He can.
Hello, this is Mr. Dwalu. Please leave.
There you go. So what I just said was correct. You see the time Dwalu called me? For 30 minutes, Dwalu and myself spoke. For 30 minutes. It's right here. Right here. Yeah, Dwalu, yeah. You see? For 30 minutes. And immediately I said, Dwalu, who that woman? Dwalu called the phone off.
Dwalu busy. Dwalu told us in the chat room he's very busy in Liberia. That's why we have not seen him.
Look at Siada Freeman said, Dwalu, not stupid, said to answer you.
People know you. There are people that know you.
Oh, Lord. I can't wait for Kola. Kola in the place now? Nelson?
She's here. She's about to be ushered in.
Dwalu. Dwalu.
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dwalu.
What's Paul, Dwalu?
Yep.
Dwalu.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're very clear.
Yes, thank you. Did you call me earlier, though? Did I miss a call from you or I spoke to you?
We did speak. You did call.
Okay. You call me or I call you?
I think I called you earlier today, but you called me most recently this afternoon.
Okay, thank you. So we have established that. When we spoke, there was a lady in the car talking, and I said, Dwalu, who's that lady? And can you tell us who that lady was in the car with you?
I don't know.
Dwalu, I hope you go change with that woman now. Dwalu, I hope you go get a wife quick to pour on the phone. All right, let's say hi to her. Maybe we'll recognize her voice. Let's say hi to her.
You want to say hi to the woman?
Yes.
You're fresh out. You might easy. And the woman was say hi to her. Say, let's say, oh, more.
Ask him. Ask him. Ask him.
No, so my phone having problem. I gotta go. My phone having problem. She wanna kiss me.
Yeah.
Oh Lord have mercy. But guys, there you have it. Eduardo is staying in Liberia. He just got back, and we got Ed Remy Gray also. Let me give you a breaking news on Ed Remy Gray. The LDC went. He tried turning the generator on. The generator couldn't come on. Ed Remy slept in darkness with a lot of mosquito and heat. He woke up this morning. He said, "Stanton." I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm changing my plane ticket. I'm leaving." I said, "What happened?" He said, "I can't make it. It's hard."
Not Liberia, you can't make it.
I said, "But my man, you in Liberia, you can't make it." He said, "My man, my generator broke and I can fix it, but just being here, the heat. So Ed Remy Gray said, "You know why? He must leave." I asked for Fadiga. Fadiga brothers, they went to Buchanan. I'm giving you an update of all the spawn panelists. You guys been asking. Fadiga and his brother went to Buchanan. They have some Basa event along with what's her name? Mona, what Mona last name? Mona Fahad. And they went to that Basa retreat. And I think they're having a big program in Basa. And Fadiga and his brother, they went along with Mona. And they invited Ed Remy Gray. Eric said he's not going to Basa. He's not from Basa. So he will not attend the program. And we're talking about Fatima. Fatima arrived back into the state late last night. She came back. She's here. I don't know whether she's coming on, but she's here. She came back. She's so grateful to be back in the state. While in Liberia, she sent some photos that she had some good time with President Joseph Yimabwaka. You know, she was very loud. People could hear Fatima from the gate. When the security said, "We're not allowing in," Fatima started talking, and they opened the gate straight to allow her in. So she was very loud, but you know, she spent a good time with the president. And here we are. Who else missing? Prince Maxwell is coming on. Ambula Mame is here. Jerry Gibson.
How about
Jerry
Steven?
Gibson. Steven. So Steven lost his voice. He will be joining us next week, starting next week. You know, Steven said something about Liberia. Maybe, but no, he said, Glennie, he said something about Liberia. That, you know, people getting dehydrated very fast. And I want to believe it. The heat, the sun, you know, everything.
Air.
Yeah, the air. He said dust is in the air that making them to lose their voice. So, and that's exactly what's happening. So, but Steven is doing pretty good. He said he won't be spending more time home than going out on the street. Who else are we missing? We got to give update.
I cut you off with Jerome Gibson. Where Jerry here, right?
No, we really don't care about Jerome. Whether he's living or he's there, we don't care. Yeah, we really don't care about Jerome. Jerome, I don't even know if he's coming on. Jerome is alive. Jerome, yeah, no. Jerome appeared today 100 years from now. I don't care. I hope he doesn't even appear clearly after the 6 years. That's how it is. So we don't.
We got
when Jerome can hold it like Joseph Braga. If you ask anybody now whether they want Jerome, they will tell you no. Let's okay, Kula is sitting. Before we take Kula, let's open the phone line just for Liberia. Let's take Granny. No, let's say this thing. This is the people's station. Ask 10 Liberians right now, just from Liberia, whether they want Jerome by on the show. I beg you before we bring Kula on. Just 10 Liberians, ask them.
Okay, so let me do that. 055-101075.
Not stopping Jerome from coming by. We're just asking the Liberian people.
See, you know the people don't let the man pay the anyway. You want me? Oh, he wanna call. I bring another person in. Hello.
Yeah, this is Paola Kante calling for TV.
You okay?
He won't even make a case to say you recorded before you must run the show.
Thank you. We take another person here.
Make it 5. Take 3 more. We got to take Kula is sitting and take 3 more.
Yeah, I already see that. So 0555101075. We take this.
How about Fagon?
We're up there on Fagon. Let's take the 3 calls.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, I'm Peter S. calling from Lagos.
Okay, let's hear you, Peter.
Yeah, Brother Jerry should not call on the show. You guys should not pass it for now.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, hello, you getting me?
Yeah, go ahead, please. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I say my concern has to do with our judiciary.
No,
you're going
to
to concern.
Yeah, you know, we will do that one later.
Yeah, you want Jerome back here or you want Jerome?
Jason Jerome?
Yeah.
No, I don't want him.
The last person. Hello.
I'm my Henry calling the show.
Oh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. They said, man, I hear so call. So, listen. But let's go ahead. So, you got the answer from Jerome. Let's talk about Fagon. Fagon is attending, you know, his friend / brother passed away. Today is the funeral. Last night was the wake keeping. Today is the funeral, so the band busy with burial and everything. And they are the repast, and, you know, but we wish the family our sympathy, and we hope that God can strengthen them. So Fagon been busy the whole week with the whole funeral arrangement. The gentleman that passed away, he was like a brother to Fagon. So we wish Fagon well. So on this note, guys, those are just the side information we bring into you. We got a big story today. Kola Fuana, the newly appointed press. What's her position?
Secretary.
Press secretary. Thank you. Is in studio, and she about to talk about the State of the Nation address. And after Kola, we'll be bringing Amin Modad, the newly appointed Commerce Minister, pending confirmation. He will be joining us to talk about the way forward for the Commerce Ministry. We got some documents, some report that the JPTT, under the chairmanship of Yatta family, received the money. Information that our committee received the money. And we got the letter that was requested for the media team. We got the document that when people were forming the Cook-a-thon program. You know, when we say these things and people say it was a joke. One of the family member of the gentleman that died, actually his brother, will be bringing him on this show. The gentleman that died during the inauguration will be bringing the brother on to speak on the issue and his brother death. Want to say stick with us, share the program. Let's have a wonderful show. As we all know, the President Joseph Yimampuaka is embalming for the private retreat. And I think Kula going to speak on the mode if she can. So we're going to be bringing in Kola Fuana to have a wonderful conversation tonight. Kola Fuana, how are you? Nelson, we need volume, please. Hello?
I'm doing wonderful. How you all doing? Nice to see you. And I'm happy to be here. I look forward to the conversation this evening on our side. I don't know what time is it on your side. But let me say good evening to the Liberians listening to us via their own platforms, but as well as the local radio. And let me say thank you for the work Spawn Network continues to do in Liberia and across the diaspora as well.
Thank you very much, Kola. It's good to have you. We will not be too professional.
Happy to be here as well.
Can you, Nelson, can you work on the sound, please? Can you hear us now?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. A little lower, but I think I can hear you.
Yeah, they will make the adjustment. But it's good to have you. I don't know whether this set up, whether Dr. Richardson call all the men and say, y'all stay away because Kola is coming on. You guys try to hijack me. If you want me to leave, I will leave. Seriously. Maybe this is a hijack for me. I don't know. 3 women, and I'm the only person here going to ask the hard question. Because look at Glennie, she all laughing now. She's so happy now that Richardson smiling. But we're gonna give Kula her time, take away a little twist into the program. It's good to have you. Congratulations on your appointment, by the way. Congrats,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
and we're
Thank
so happy, and pray that you do a better job. Pray that you be the people's press secretary, and give them that which they need to know. Let's talk about the reason why you are here, because you reached out to me and Madam Titi, the CEO, who you know very well, and you wanted to appear to speak about the state of the nation. So let's give you the chance. Talk to us.
Well, again, like I said, I'm excited to be here, and I think this will be my first debut on your platform, especially this particular one. Spoon have been following some of our work when I was running for office in Cape Mount. But generally, so as you've mentioned, Liberians gathered and elected His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai as their president. And on Monday, he is going to give the state of our nation, where we are, how we're feeling. I mean, in terms of the economy, in terms of the state, basically, of what it is. So it's important that as our role as the press secretary, to be able to inform the Liberian people, to get us prepared that he's in high spirit. He's looking forward to addressing the nation. He's looking forward to telling the Liberian people his legislative agenda, because it is also in fulfillment of his constitutional rights to address the nation. That's part of his duties as president of the Republic of Liberia. So the people's president will be doing that on Monday. He will be telling us what we've met as it is, his legislative agenda, and how he intends to, take us forward, and what are those drastic actions. Because as we all remember, during the course of the campaign, we had lots of messages around this agenda, the arrest agenda, talking about agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. But more so, in more practical terms, what does that mean? And some of the compelling issues that the Liberian people care about. I'm sure you've heard of the issue of the audits that we've been talking about. He's very keen on that. It's not just it's not going to be business as usual. That is the promise and charge he made to the Liberian people. He's going to also be talking about that. And there are a couple of reforms that he's very passionate and excited about, and he will be talking about that as well with members of the legislature and the international community, and to also galvanize the Liberian people and be honest about what we met. To be honest, there are challenges. The economy hasn't been able to do, very well over the last year, and he's going to be talking about that as well, where we are, what are his plans going forward.
Thank you, Kula. Thank you again. Like I said, there's a lot of conversation out there. We're going to ask you some very important questions, one of which I'd like to know, and the audience, our followers, like to know, Kula, when is the 100 days? When the start of the 100 days?
So the assumption was that the day of the inauguration, once you become president of the country, the day one starts. So all of us around the presidency, we know that we into the 100 days. It's counting from once you've gotten sworn in as president of the republic. So yeah, if we're counting, that's what it is.
So it will be starting January 22nd, correct?
January 22nd, 2024.
The reason why folks are asking, and then we're bringing that to Richardson and Glendy, folks are asking, with the promise being made by President Joseph Yuma Boakai that within the first 100 days, such and such would happen. Can you talk to us the expectation of the Liberian people with the president, this government, deliver on promise made within the first 100 days?
Absolutely. As you've mentioned, He's very clear about what he intends to do. And one of our role is to be able to inform the public on specifically what His Excellency the President will be doing. And the 100 days, we are still setting up the team. And because within the appointments that's supposed to be made is pretty much around 4,000 or so, but the key cabinet team is being formulated. We've gotten Ministry of Public Works, we've gotten Ministry of Finance, we've gotten the deputies for Ministry of Finance. There are key line agencies and ministries that appointments have been made, and we're looking forward to the Senate to go through the confirmation hearing as soon as possible so that these people can get to work immediately. But before or even beyond just coming to start work officially, once the idea of who is going to go to which part of the government, there has been conversation behind the scene, the awareness of where we are specifically. For example, the finance minister and the team already having conversation on where we are, talking about the budget confirmation. Conversations. What we need to do about recasting and what the priority of the government is. Right now, as we speak, it has been like this for quite some time, and the government intends to not do that, specifically looking at recurring costs within our budget. Most of our budget is around 95% or so goes towards salary and recurring costs. And that is problematic because if you have a government that is just paying salaries, the resources that is left to actually do the real work is not sufficient. So what is going to happen is serious conversation around recasting and seeing where the government needs to adjust, especially so also engaging partners, development partners on key infrastructure projects, for example, projects that are able to, deliver the promises that His Excellency have made to the Liberian people.
My last question. Doing this, we all looking forward to Monday, the State of the Nation address. Should we expect any new promises?
When you say new promises, there's not going to be anything different. There's not going to be a digression of what he's made over the course of the campaign, but there are going to be specifics in terms of specific legislation conversation around what he's going to be working on, some bills he's going to be preferring to the legislature. He's going to be very keen on the issue of accountability. And this accountability, again, re-emphasizing the need for audits and those promises that he's made. And even is also part of what he spoke about during the inauguration. So it's not going to be brand new promises, but they're going to be specific. That's why it's going to be legislative agenda, because we're talking about roads and those specifics on what's going to be happening in those institutions that will be formulated, or those bills that will be looked at and sent to the legislature. So specifics, definitely, but nothing new. Nothing new around the legislative, plans.
Thank you, Kola. Let me bring in Dr. Richardson.
Kola, it's good to meet you today. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to see you too, Dr. Richardson.
I read so much about you just over the past couple of days, knowing that you have a law degree, a graduate from AMEU University, a BA in communications. Now you are the press secretary. Do you know if you're the first female press secretary? Have you heard? Somebody said that, but I wasn't sure.
So yeah, I've been hearing people saying that, but I haven't done research because I've not had the time to even. We've been, just on the road. But in terms of law degree, I currently do not have a law degree, but I'm pursuing one. I'm a third year, so I have like a semester left.
Thank you. Thank you for the correction. Yes. Yeah. So my question to you that, of course, President Bokar didn't finish his inaugural speech. And I think he was in a speech somewhere talking about the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And he wanted to revisit that. He said he was going to revisit that. Do you have any information about that you can share with the public about the TRC?
Oh, absolutely. So the whole idea about, in fact, specifically, it was the issue on war and economic crimes court. And from it's not just it has not only been during the course of the inaugural address, but throughout the campaign, the president, now president, then candidate, spoke specifically about the need for the form of accountability, as I've mentioned, but specifically for war crimes and crimes against humanity and economic crimes. And it has not been about targeting an individual. The president's plan or idea around reconciliation or war and economic crimes court, specifically as part of the truth and reconciliation process, because the TRC was a broad-based process of having Liberians to account for things that happened in the past. So President Boakai idea around that is to really see where we are with that whole conversation. So it is not about targeting an individual. It is about the broader conversation of reconciliation, of truth-telling, but most importantly, of war and economic crimes issues. So that is the aspiration behind the conversation. And I mean, we should all be, because within the report, for example, the Truth and Reconciliation talks about issues of reparation, talks about memorialization, talks about a lot of other things that are very important to our national healing process, and none of which we as a country have been able to do clearly. Yes, we know the Human Rights Commission have tried to do other things around that. The memorialization project have been incompleted. Sites that there were mass graves and everything have not properly been memorialized. So the conversation is not just about dispersing, or because in Liberia, as soon as you say TRC or war and economic crime code, and people start pointing fingers so that you can make the president look like a certain type of way. But that's not the issue. But the whole issue is about the broader conversation around the entire process of Truth and Reconciliation Commission report, or the process, but more so of the accountability aspect, that we must be able to start a process to heal from what have happened over the years, and people who suffered during the course of our heyday need answers. Some people up to today need closure, and closure could mean memorializing their loved one properly, and closure could mean different things for different people. But it is important to really start the conversation in a way that a government is serious about it and strategically and systematically deal with it. So it's not just about go and do this and do this. So the underlying question is, who do we want to do this whole process for? And that is where sometimes it gets mixed up. But yes, the president is very clear about what he intends to do when it comes to the issue of Truth and Reconciliation report or war and economic crimes court.
Thank you so much for sharing that information with Liberians.
Let me pause you for a second question. Let me bring. Oh, Amin left. I was trying to bring in Amin to have this thing together, but he just went back home. Let me bring in Amin real quick, and we all can have this conversation together. Go ahead, Dr. Rich. Welcome to the show, Amin. Good to see you.
Thank you, Stan. It's a pleasure being here again.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do something strange today. I'm going to put myself down. And
Kola, how are you, ladies?
Hey, I mean,
I'm
Mr. Minister.
And keep the women up.
Yeah, they are always ahead of us.
Yeah, let me put them up there. Let me calm down today. I want to be fair to Kola. Let me put her up there. Go ahead, Dr. Richardson.
My second question to you, and a caller brought this up. She and I was kind of thinking the same way. Do you intend to have a daily press briefing like in other countries, and maybe perhaps like we had this done in Liberia before, where the media can be involved and knowledgeable about what is happening with the president? Is that something that you intend to do in your office, where you invite the media team over and you take questions about what's going on in the life of the president?
So what we intend to do, so there are a number of things that we intend to do. Right now, our focus is to ensure that the Monday event is successful and everything goes on plan and everything else. Immediately after that, there are a number of things that we intend to roll out. One is the need to engage media, regardless of the different school of thought. Sometimes people say this is opposition media and this is this other media. But for us, our interest, because our role as press secretary is like the gateway between the presidency and the public. And our goal is not to just be always on the defensive, but to inform the public on what the presidency is about and what the presidency is doing, what the president is doing. And whatever ways in which we can do that, we look forward to doing those things. And specifically on your question of daily press briefing, that will be a lot, but we intend to have probably weekly press briefing because we know there are lots of things, and most time the president will be on the road, and as the president's on the road, we need to inform the public. So right now we have had meetings, couple of meetings with my internal team, and we're working on different strategy. We even trying to work on our full communication strategy for the office, and one of the things that we want to be able to do is to have the president engage with the people, with the public. So you will see some non-traditional form of engagement. Will not be the regular press conference. Maybe we want to take the office in a way to the streets and have, conversation.
As long as you're not going to some kind of church or unconventional place, that's okay. You can
no, but not with the president, but with the team.
Because we come from a place where the press conference was in the church, and all I wanted, we wanted.
Hello. And most importantly, we are open to different suggestions, and we'll be listening, hearing what works, and we'll be doing our best. But our goal really is because the Liberian people line up to support this president. And also, besides just going to do their vote, people volunteer to protect their vote. And because they did that, and they saw him as the people's president, we want to be able to for them to have access in different ways, regular conversations and whatnot. So we're still working on things, and the challenge also now where we met, we will be operating in a very tight fiscal space financially, but we are trying our best to see what we can do with the little we had, with the lower hanging fruits, but most importantly is to be able to connect the Liberian people with the president. So for us, that's our main goal. So however we can do that through the regular press briefing, press discussion, going to different talk shows, and having conversation with journalists in and out. We look forward to those opportunities. But yes, we have lots of plans. We will roll them out, and we hope that the media in Liberia, both print, electronic, and the new social media, that is one of the most important part, because right now
as well.
Yes, and right now this government is going to be one of the most scrutinized, because we are in a time where social media is very important. At the other time, social media was there, but it was not as paramount and as available as it is now. So we're going to do our best to channel communications through the different means that we have to inform the people on the presidency of the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you very much. We have Kola Fuana, that's our guest this evening, alongside with the incoming Commerce Minister, Amin Modad. Folks, we want to say thank you as always. We ask you to please share this program, invite your friends. Let's have a wonderful conversation tonight. Forward, we're going to now move forward to our sister Glennie. Glennie, your question.
Hello, hi Kola.
Hey Glennie, nice to see you.
Yes, extremely proud of you. As a Liberian woman, I cannot be more elated than to be alive.
You can't miss it on top of yo.
How you've excelled. Yeah, we got a space now, so we're talk. Liberian people know, women know book.
Right.
But anyway, my first question, that's not to say, not to speak to our honorable minister, but when we get to you, we'll talk to you. Right now, we're dealing with women.
Yes.
All right, my first question to you, I know.
Look, Glenda, I've been married for 15 years. I know when I'm the least important person in the room.
Very good.
Go right ahead.
Sinto, you hear him, Sinto? So my first question I want to ask is, I'm sure, so you're versed in different areas. You're also well versed in politics. And I'm sure I want to ask you about the difference in your style of being a press secretary as it relates to what we had in Ellen government and we are government? What is that one thing, or what if you have one or two things that you saw that they did that was not correct, that you will not want to repeat, so that the population knows that?
Good question, Granny.
So to be honest, in the course of my dealing with the presidency, because I have been around the presidency of Liberia, excluding this government, this Ghana government, with President Shirley, for example, I served her government as assistant minister at the time. And prior to being assistant minister, I was also the co-chairperson on Liberia's Vision 2030, the development agenda for the country at the time. And after that, when the United Nations had the post-2015 development agenda, when she became one of the co-chairs, I was asked to come and work with the team. So I've seen the presidency, but I've not closely followed specifically with the role of the press secretary at those moments. So I wouldn't be able to specifically say what they did wrong or what they did right. But what I can say is that my intent, like I've mentioned earlier, is to see how we can connect the presidency to the Liberian people, because sometimes, most of the time during campaigns, it's easier for the community, the people to connect, because of course it's campaign time. So there's that access. People will answer their calls and whatnot. But then when the election is over and government is being set up, it becomes challenging to have that access. We know the president will definitely be busy, but as press secretary, how do you connect your office with the people? So my style for me of leadership, so it is different. I will be able to navigate. One of the good things that I think I have, one of the characteristics will be my ability to navigate between different worlds. So between, say, for example, VIPs, media executives, and international partners and whatnot, and to also transition to work to talking and meeting or engaging local people, community people, regular people. So I would be looking forward to seeing how I'm able to coordinate between, of course, the respectability, because we want to bring the respectability of the Liberian presidency par international standards. So, for example, if you see communications coming from the White House, for example, if you see the White House press secretary, how they, connect, what are those different issues, being on different platforms. And because at the end of the day, this is the presidency of the country. So that requires, from a diplomatic standpoint, that requires that form of respectability and sanity in terms of information sharing. But also, you don't want to take the presidency very far away or far removed from the people that made or elected, the president. So my goal will be trying to see how we connect in different ways. So I'm working with my team now to see what kind of activities, what kind of programs, what kind of style we can all put together to be able to have a presidency that works for everyone. You can have the president meeting, for example, President Biden, and you can still have that very same president engaging with Makebe or Matewa down the line, so that the presidency should not be a barrier between the people who elected the president versus the other one. So for me, that will be my interest.
So I can take it that we anticipate to have not regularly, but at least if it was monthly or quarterly, to see question and answer time or something with President Boyka based on
Oh,
what you
absolutely. Oh,
okay.
absolutely. In fact, question answer time in a way where it's not going to be like the former. He will speak a regular Liberian English, where Mantewa or Mantwati or Mary or Mamusu or Uncle Joe or Uncle Paul can understand, right? So we'll be looking forward to that. So maybe we do some things and then have it air on the state broadcaster regularly. So we're hoping that with everything happening, access, because sometimes you can have all this passion, you can have all the time, you can have, but then when it comes to, the actual work, sometimes some challenges, but we will work along with the team. And I'm sure with what I've been able to do in a very short, the team working around the president from the Ministry of State, these are people who also very happy that we're working on these ideas to bring the presidency to the Liberian people. So yes, I look forward to having different means on engaging.
All right, so my last question is looking at the inaugural program. There are quite a few things, and we can interpret it based on how we see it, whether it was successful, not successful. There's a lot of interpretations. We now have the next the presidential message that's coming up on Monday. We're also looking forward to seeing. We want to be able to see something that's going to be refreshing and different from what we went through to inauguration. So I want you to tell us, as the press secretary, what are we to expect on Monday during their time?
So our Liberian parlance, they say when snake boy you before, when you see laser
Yes,
you run, right? No, but I mean this is just a joke about it. But on a serious note, we've been working along. I mean, before coming here, I've been on call with the team at the legislature to make sure that we have everything on course, talking with the team at the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism, speaking with the team for the EPS, the chair on executive, just to make sure that everything is on course. In fact, checking the mic, asking about microphones, just those bits and pieces. Air conditioned. So now we have a lot of air conditioning. It might probably be the coolest place that it has ever been. No, but yeah. So we're taking all the necessary precautions, and then tomorrow I'm going to also be there after the press briefing at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, just to make sure everything is on course. We're covering all the holds and we're crossing all the T's and dotting the I's. But yeah, we're taking all necessary precautions to make sure that we have, I mean, everything go on course. So yeah, we have air conditions there. They're currently on, and we have backup air conditions.
Water, water.
Yeah. Water, they definitely will have. I mean, I will be asking the people, the logistics people, to make sure there's enough water, there's enough, space. And then the other thing that they because I mean, one of the other issue with the inauguration, it was overly crowded, and even up to the stage. So I was asking the people that hopefully you don't have anything, no crowded people, including the media people. There should be a designated area that says specifically media people on this place, so that you don't have too many clusters in the front. So yeah. We're hoping that everything goes on, but we're taking all the necessary precaution. The team is on top of our game, and we hope and pray that all goes well.
Thank you, Kola.
You totally put women in charge, but they're joking.
Hello.
Yeah, you see, let me say, Kola. Don't do that now. Yeah.
Yeah, like you start now.
How many women in that for that now?
You don't sound our here now, though. But let me say this.
6. We got 6 women already. 6.
Go ahead. Yo, can't tire. We got. Listen, though. I want to move a little bit over to Amin Modad, but again, Prince Master just joining us. We'll give him the time. But to add to the arrangement, I think Emmanuel Down, Representative District number 7, he will be having some kind of press engagement tomorrow, and he will be updating the public as to what we should expect for the State of the Nation address. It's very important, folks. Go ahead, Kola.
Yeah. So Emmanuel Dan is the chair on executive. So I've been in conversation with him. So we both will be at the press briefing, the MICAT press briefing tomorrow to give some updates on where they are and what to expect. So yes, please, all the journalists listening, please come and get prepared. Ask all the questions necessary to the chair on executive, so we make sure that the program Monday is set and ready.
And I want to give you the time. I want to give you the time, since I know you shared this. I should give you the credit, though you didn't mention it. But you guys talk about 12 noon, correct? Tomorrow. 12 noon. When you want journalists seated, can you expand, talk more about it? Let them hear you.
So that is specifically with the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, but it's 12 noon, the press briefing starts. So hopefully by 11, if they can be there 11:30, everything set, check marks and everything. And then because we wouldn't have a lot of time, the most of the time after that press briefing, the team will go head back to the legislature to make sure everything again, to do a test of it, make sure stage, podium, mics and everything, air conditioned, water, bathrooms, everything is, set up. Yeah.
No plastic
And
chair.
again, just to add, folks, it's very important to note because of the first mess up of the inauguration program, they have now, put in place when she talking about LDC water. The water thing is all done 100%. Whosoever in charge of the water, I spoke to them, and I can assure you guys, I'm not going to call any name. Let Emmanuel down, give that announcement tomorrow and Kula. But the water and the arrangement, you guys will enjoy. And I think that Emmanuel Dan and the rest of the team, they will do a wonderful job, and they are planning, very, very diligently. So I believe, with the exception of the message, the plan is on course. So Kula, let me bring in Prince Maxwell. Then we're going to turn to Amin to ask him all of our questions. Prince, your question for Madam Fofana.
I don't have a question from Madam Fofana. What I do have is a big bear hug. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, I want people to understand that Kula and myself went to school together.
Amazing.
And the both of us come a very long way. Kula, you are now part of the leadership of the Republic of Liberia.
Yes.
Your voice is now going to be going to 5+ million people on a regular basis. You now have the future of my children in your hands. And whatever you say is going to influence their life and my family as well.
Which one, the family, Liberia or Europe?
This position, the position you occupy,
yeah, still
it's a very important one. And there are thousands of young girls that you've worked with over the years.
Yes.
In the streets, in the slums. I knew when you were doing this work. They are going to see you today on Spoon TV. They have been seeing you already. And now today they are hearing that you are the press secretary to a president of the Republic of Liberia.
Yes.
Can't get any better.
You have become a role model from thousands of young girls. I cannot tell you how proud I am of you, nor can I say carry yourself in a respectable way, because you have been carrying yourself in a respectable way over the years. Yeah. All I can say to you is keep flying high. I now have a question for you, and keep going.
Thank you very much, Prince Maxwell.
Can I squeeze in one question?
As a diplomat, he escaped that question. We'll keep it alive. You guys know I will not forget that question, Kula. I will ask Maxwell, even in your absence. I will ask Maxwell. Okay. But let's go over to Amin real quick. Dr. Richardson, you want to say something?
Are we going to come back to Kula?
Yes, we will. We will. I just want to bring in Amin and Kula. Listen, though, we got a lot of questions for you, because I know, listen, it just going to 2 weeks and you just got a point to even make a week here, you on social media on a major platform. So it took everything in you, that brave mindset, to even come and sit. So today we'll be very gentle. Next time you come back, we will go all out. But we want to say congratulations to you.
Whatever time you come, I mean, I trust me, I'm in this role. But like Glenda mentioned earlier, I come from a political school of thought. I've been in the trenches. I ran for office, not once, but twice. I ran in Cape Mount for the House of Senate in the by-elections, and ran for the House of Representatives in these elections. I've been in student politics. Maxwell will tell you. When we're on the MU campus, we're very vocal. So we've been around. So there's no and then
Beautiful.
As currently, I mean,
Don't tell
prior
him
to this role,
anything
the
here,
head
Kula.
of
Tell him
the
here, room.
the head
Could
of
I say
the
time to
Media and
talk? Let's
Publicity
talk.
Committee of the Unity Party. So we've battled, we've fought battles. So I mean, being on this platform, anytime you want to bring lion, bring them. But we'll be ready. That's why we're selected.
Hey.
The press secretary just gave her a secret of mine. Nobody knew that I was in advocacy on campus. Don't say it because they don't know.
Now we know the diplomat.
We want
Really?
to say, could I hang out with us? Let's
No,
bring in
not by
Amin.
him. He never been always diploma. He been some form of diploma in a way, but he been very consistent. But I'm very proud of you too, Prince. I've been following. I mean, it's a good thing to have such a reunion of former classmates, and seeing the young generation of people who are thinking strategically about our country
Right.
and having being part of conversations around how we think the country should move, and just beyond how we think, being giving such role. I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted, and I think it's something that our goal is to do our own part. All of the roles that I've played in the country, starting from being co-chair on Vision 2030, being assistant minister youth and sports, my goal have always been just do your part, do your best,
Yep.
and leave the rest. And
Thank you, Kula. Please do not leave for a second. We're going to bring in the incoming Commerce Minister, Amin Modad. Amin, man, you love for me to call you Amin. Let's take this start to out. You call me Stanton, I call you Amin. It's good to have you, as always. And, you know, former chairman, Unity Party. You work yourself out like crazy. Talk to us today. Since you were appointed, congratulations again to you. I want to say you are now on the world stage. People want to listen to you, the new Amin, the Commerce Minister, incoming Commerce Minister, pending confirmation. What do you bring to the table, Amin? Or what's your message today for Liberians home and abroad?
Might agree, disagree, but it's always a constructive environment. Let me uh, let me start by also uh, congratulating Kula. You know, I've had a peculiar relationship with Kula. I met Kula when she joined an organization that my wife led before, and when my wife became and the colleagues became chair, Kula assumed the responsibility for that organization. And I saw this aggressive young lady, uh, and one day I said, yo, watch out for Kula. Kula will soon take charge of this organization. But another thing I want to bring out about Kula is that it was far in the future that I got to know that my English professor at school in St. Patrick's, and later on he became my English professor at LU. Is her dad. So her command of English, her eloquence, it came about from that upbringing, and I congratulate you.
thank you, thank you.
Look, I'm glad to be here, and the intention is not to defend or sell myself to the public. You know, I have confidence of where I've come from, where I'm going. I am humbled by the opportunity given to me by President Boakai to serve on his cabinet and serve the Liberian people. Uh, but I'm here mainly to give assurances to our people that I understand the environment that I'm inheriting. I understand the trade and economic and commercial sector. I understand it from two perspectives. Not only am I a professional trade development expert, uh, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I've gone through the trenches of the Liberian economy as a key player. I understand what it means to clear a container from the port and experience delays. I understand what it means to have an unfriendly business environment. I understand what it means for Liberian entrepreneurs to not have an equal playing field to remain competitive. I understand what it means in general, whether you are like an entrepreneur or a foreign business, to not have the environment for you to thrive. I understand the policy environment. I have been one of those who led Liberia post-war uh, trade development. I mean, from 2006, I have been involved in developing our investment code, our trade policy. I led the for development of the trade policy under the auspices of former Minister Olubangi King Agarele and former Minister Miada Beslo. I led Liberia's integration into the global trading system. I began the WTO accession process, presented that in 2007 in Geneva, and led that process up to the point we were accepted at the WTO. And in that process of being accepted at the WTO, you had to develop your internal policies and regulations that conform to those international standards. It had to do with changing the institutions, the trade-related institutions, not only the Ministry of Commerce, but all those institutions that support the trade movement, changing them to be and having that balance of mindset. I really believe that I can turn the economy around. I like to say the economy because at this time in our history, uh, it is all about developing our economy, developing the business environment to attract investors, to create an environment where even Liberians can thrive. It's the only way that we can fulfill all the other agenda. If we do not create that enabling environment, I mean, the old lady in the market would not be able to aspire to one day get into a 5-star, 4-star hotel to buy a bowl of rice. The young student that is coming up there will not aspire to one day purchase a vehicle. So there's a symbiotic relationship that we understand and we will seek, we will thrive, we're challenged to develop.
Thank you very much. I mean, the issue about the Commerce Ministry is big. Let's just get to it. Unlike our question to Madam Fofana, of course, she's the press secretary. We'll go back to her. It's not into deep, but this Commerce Ministry is a place that a lot of Liberian, they are feeling left out. I mean, when you talk about the
Right.
business, a lot of Liberians say, listen, for example, I'll go straight to the point. I mean, giving steel, giving another out company the sole right to just import steel raw, that no Liberian can do that. The issue about under the George Monawea government giving money to rice importers, $11 million that went out. You served on that cluster. You saw the report. It was hard time for you to get anything from Mawani D's. People will call me and say, Stanton, man, let's just move on. You agree with them. Let's just move on and we cannot have the full report about the 11 million. Let's just move on and we cannot have the document and the full report about the COVID-19 relief. Or let's just move on and Liberians are not involved. They're just spectator or even outside of the field. What say you to these things? What are you bringing? Will you help Liberian? Will you make them understand that the involvement of Liberian own is a priority to you when you are confirmed as Commerce Minister, sir?
So again, I'm not only from the policy side, I am a player in the economy. So I understand all of those things. I'm a Liberian entrepreneur who has been confronted with stiff competition from foreign enterprises without the platform to be able to, that promotes me, that supports me to be able to compete with them. So I understand all the constraints that Liberian entrepreneurs, Liberian businesses are involved in. I've been involved in real estate. I've been involved in hospitality and tourism. I'm even involved into the very critical area of our economy, our sector, which is value addition and production of food. So I understand it, and I can assure you and everyone, the Liberian people, that one of my focuses will be on developing Liberian entrepreneurship, giving them the platform to be competitive and that enabling environment for them to compete. There are several issues that have affected our economy, our trade environment, beginning with the unique pattern of our country's establishment with our relationship with the U.S., our trading from the 1800s. That's one. If you look at the sharp division between, the enclave of foreign control enterprises and our domestic economy, that's another major one. For time immemorial, our economy has been dominated and controlled by foreign enterprises and foreign entrepreneurs. We have to break those views in every sector. So those are things that we are cognizant about. Our political instability, I mean, from the 80s to now, impacted our trajectory, our growth. We also noticed that our economy without any real agenda or plan to transform it. We had the financial crisis, the global financial crisis, and people don't understand that it had lingering effect in our economy. We had the Ebola, we had COVID without any real COVID recovery plan. If you remember, Stanton, initially I tried to put forward a COVID recovery strategy during the we-led government that they did not look at. So all those things, we understand them and we'll look at them. You talk about the prices of commodities. It goes beyond just prices of commodities. We have issues with prices, uh, disparities. We also have issues with quality of products on our market. And understanding the environment, one of the first few things we will attempt to do is to understand the market. We will try to understand the role of the Ministry of Commerce as it relates to our contemporary needs. We will try to understand the market looking at those critical commodities, foodstuff, rice, building materials, cement. We'll look at our consumption. We'll look at all those things that are very critical, and we'll base our 100, not beyond our 100 day, we'll base our 6 months, 1 year, and 5 months strategic planning, which we will do based on those needs, those issues that are inherent now in our comparative advantage, how we can take the country forward. Another
I
thing that
beg
we
you. I beg you. Let's just make it short because we got a lot of questions, especially when it comes to you. To consider, I beg you. I mean, it's so important. It's so good to have you on
yes.
tonight. Let me squeeze in my second question. Like I asked Kula, President Joseph Yima Boyka said 100 days. I want you to look in the camera and speak to Liberian tonight. I mean, 100 days from your ministry is a
Yes.
reduction in rice price, reduction in cement, reduction in sugar, reduction in these different political commodities that we can sit back and say, yes, the president hit the ground running. What's your plan? We look at the rice. Let's talk about rice, for example, because this is
Right.
Liberia's big case issue.
Right.
Rice right now is 16, 18, up to $20. Some places in the interior, $25. Can you assure Liberians tonight, through your conversation with the president, how you walk into that ministry upon confirmation? Will we ever see rice price dropping? Will we ever see cement price, fuel dropping? These political commodities, will we ever see them dropping? Will there be a reduction in price? I mean,
So the first commitment I can give you, I'm a proponent of a free market economy. Maybe not a total free market economy, maybe a hybrid between a free market and a command economy. But I'm a proponent of supply and demand, and I'm going to fight to abolish any form of direct or indirect monopolies. That's the first step in creating an environment where you will have a product on the market for $5, and you have a product on the market, the same product on the market for $200, and giving the choice to the people, to be able to decide. One of the things that's killing us is that artificial monopoly that actually I believe is rests solely on the Ministry of Commerce and how they have been appropriating IPDs and and managing the process. Under our leadership, per the instruction of President Boaka, is going to be opened. Okay, whatever control that we will have will be to ensure that prices are not exorbitant. Importers do not take advantage of that open a free market. Look, the issue of commodities most of these products are very sensitive, and we are not going to take it lightly. Before I commit to 100% declining in price, I will tell you, I've already told you one of the initial steps. We'll conduct a thorough assessment domestically and internationally, looking at the global price for rice, doing analysis of these key commodities to ensure that what comes to Liberia, products come to Liberia are being sold fairly, not to the disadvantage of our people. I still believe initially we have started making inquiries of price of those commodities. I really do believe that the price of rice and several other commodities can be reduced marginally within the first 90 days. Okay, and we'll take those steps towards it. Uh, And I believe, look, it's about diversification, opening the market, making those commodities available to our people from all sources.
So we're gonna bring in Dr. Richardson. I mean, you again. I know this will not be your first time, but we got to squeeze you here. It's very important
Go right
because
ahead. Go right ahead.
Liberia really want to know. That's why when it comes to you and myself, we can laugh in the back, we call mid joke.
Right.
But when it comes to
Right.
the Liberian people, especially the rest issue, the few that are killing the people, we're talking about every other things and how secretly the past government was operating. Even to get Mawani Diggs on the network was so hard. Will you be available all the times when this issue comes up? Like we need to hear from you, not the president arriving at the airport. Then Kuda come in and say, "Oh, the president will take few questions." And, no. We want to hear from the minister himself. Will you avail yourself to the Liberian people like you're doing now, or just a short term?
Stan, you and I have interacted over the last 2 or 3 years, and I did not shy away from any engagement, whether contentious or not. I take any responsibility that I'm given very seriously, and one of those responsibilities as a leader or part of leading the Ministry of Commerce would be able to communicate with the people, be able to address these institutions, these issues, and be available to them. No, I'm not going to shy away. I'm not going to shy away, and how I have managed my businesses, how I've managed the Unity Party is to be very proactive in letting people know, and engaging the people. So I'm not going to shy away.
So Dr. Richardson want me to ask my last question. She just sent me a text. Is that true, Dr. Richardson? I have to do it. I have to squeeze in the last two questions. Asset declaration. Have you declared your asset?
No, I have not. Again, within a week after uh, confirmation, I would declare my assets. I would declare my assets. I will
Why
recuse
after?
myself
Why
from.
not? Why after? Why not before?
Well, listen. What if I'm not confirmed? Those are sensitive issues that I have to be very
Okay.
clear, and honest about. Uh, I have prepared it. I'm well prepared for that. And one of the steps, I know I have been hearing about me being a business person is a conflict of interest,
Correct.
and I know who pushing those kind of somehow nonsensical argument. One of the things that I will clearly do, as I did when I became chairman of the Unity Party, is to declare my assets. Another step I'll do is to recuse myself, whether through a blind trust or transferring all management authority to my wife and management teams. I've already started setting those teams up both at within the three companies that I own, and that will be effectuated just within a week of being confirming. And look, why I was at I'm sorry, at the Ministry of Commerce and chairman of the Unity Party, I never did business with those institutions. I can assure the public, assure all of you, the Ministry of Commerce will not directly do any business with any company that I own. Okay? We are not going to do any hospitality business at the Benacasa, for example. Even though I have recused myself, I'll make it a duty. All this while that we've engaged the Unity Party, we've supported the Unity Party while I was chairman and before, we have not been doing it as a profit exercise with the Unity Party. We have not done it, we will not do it. I'm very concerned about my integrity. I've maintained this integrity in the worst of time. I'm not going to let anything jeopardize that.
Again, the asset declaration. I mean, and I know, man, you will be confirmed. I'm not saying I'm talking to anybody. Let's just be straight up.
Right.
But to say you would declare after confirmation, don't you think now you're raising red flag? People going to push you.
No, I don't
Why
think
not
so. I
do it?
think, look,
Because the issue is that either or,
yeah.
you must declare your asset at some point. Even if they will give you another job and you are not confirmed, why not just clear the air and declare?
Look, I can tell you verbally in this public manner what I own. I've always made that available. I have not done anything in hiding. In terms of assets, I have close to 10 million in assets. I have close to 2 million in debt. And I'll be very, very open about all of them. The documents are there. Even in recent time, I've conducted independent audits and independent assessment of my assets. Those will all be declared. So there's nothing to hide.
Thank you, Ame. Dr. Richardson, Glendy, Prince Maxwell, then we'll move on to our sister, Madam Fufana. that is in place.
Yeah, Mr. Modell, I want to join Stanton
Please
as
call me
well.
Amin,
Oh, great.
uh,
Thank you.
Francine.
I want to join Spoon Network and the panel here for just congratulating you on your appointment. We look forward to how the confirmation will unfold. I have to just give you a lot of props. I think I ate the last food. The last time I was in Liberia, I must have eaten the last food at your restaurant. And I know how you've been trying to prep and make sure that our restaurant is accommodating to all Liberians. So I want to tell you thank you because I know that was a challenging environment to own a business in Liberia. My question to you is, while I was in Liberia, I was drinking all of these drinks that I couldn't even read the back of the drink, all of the, I don't know, ingredients, the calories. I don't even know what they were put in the drinks. Some of them look like Coke or whatever. I know part of your responsibility at your agency is to make sure that we get quality goods imported into the country if we should import those kind of goods into the country. What are your plans? Maybe something specific so that at least you can address that issue so we won't have these. How can I be
Right,
my own country? I don't know what's going on in my stomach, but I have to drink
right,
something.
right. People relegate the Ministry of Commerce just to the importation of rice and seamen, a few commodities, and I'm glad you brought this up. When I was at the Ministry of Commerce, one of the criteria that we tried to establish was to address the issue of standards. Okay, and we set up the Standard Lab uh, as an auxiliary of the Ministry of Commerce, and now it's progressing to the Standard Authority. And the intention was this lab should be able to test the quality of products entering the country just as much as to ensure that Liberia conforms to the quality requirements for export. Okay. So one of the priorities in our agenda is to restructure, do a thorough assessment of where that lab is and what the standard authority is, and make sure that it's efficient. Not only testing those products that come in, but also in this agenda to ensure that we migrate to a value added economy, value supported economy, that we are able to export our commodities out there. Right now, we have been using a lot of the standards set by other countries, including in the region in Ghana, but we are poised to ensure that we have all capacity to be able to test those products. There are several issues that are inherent in our society that's not only killing us, but also also affecting our economy. Look, we have reports of commodities, for example, steel rod that's supposed to be 12 millimeter. They are being produced and sold on the market. They are 11 millimeters. We will be able to test them. We'll set up the system and structure to ensure that whether it's food or physical commodities, building materials that are imported and produced here meet the standards that meet the international standards and support the livelihood of our people. There's also something intriguing in this process called sanitary and phytosanitary conditions. That has to do with the health safety of meat products and plant products. We commissioned in 2010. I remember why I represented Liberia at the WTO. We got funding to set up the phyto and sanitary standards and to set up a system to ensure that that's looking, for example, at the slaughterhouses, looking at how we bring in cassava leaves, and process them to meet quality. Those studies were done, the policies were developed, the structures were designed, but we never implemented them. And I can assure the public we will implement those.
So do you think when I go buy soft drink like Coke or whatever on the market, at least I'll be able to know what's read the back of it in something that I understand in a language that I
Of
understand?
course, we have to. I see products in the supermarket that are written in French, regardless of them coming from Europe. They have to be in languages that you and I can see and understand. Those are things that are being overlooked because the system have not been effectuated and because the system is not in place. Our inspectorate will be very vigilant to be able to go from store to store, not to harass our importers or harass our business community, but to ensure that what they are importing meets the standards. I, as a hotelier, have seen my manager bring in cartons of chicken wings that were produced 2 years ago
Yes.
because they are frozen. the state carry an expiration date that lasts 3 years.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen under our watch. I can
I don't
assure our people.
like beer. Yeah, my
That's
second question to you, and I'm glad you addressed the ethical concern of dual relationship. You've been a commerce minister and owning one of the biggest hotel in Liberia, because I was concerned about that simply because we have a history where people who own businesses and in government at the same time, they take a lot of the contracts to their business, okay, leaving the other businesses out. So I'm happy that you address it. My question to you is about the Liberianization policy. I want you to be specific to me in terms of telling me what are some of the steps that you're going to take to integrate Liberian businesses, Liberian women businesses, and the businesses of Liberians in the diaspora. Just I want you to be kind
right.
of yeah.
So one of the five pillars of our reform is to ensure that Liberians are positioned to be competitive. Look, our comparative advantage right now is our resources, but not only our resources, how we add value and trade our resources. Coming from the environment as a businessman, I understand what it means for Mary to be able to afford to purchase commodity from me or work in my restaurant or buy my products. So that symbiotic relationship will develop it. Liberians are very versatile and very assertive. We can be very assertive and can be very productive. We just don't have the environment. We'll start up with a Liberian entrepreneur development program immediately that will address the issue by understanding our needs, understanding where our strengths and weaknesses are. One of the key initiatives we're going to attempt to formalize the informal sector. We've already started working. I've met a couple of banks. We'll begin within the 30 days to open registration for the free registration for the informal sector that's already not been registered. This will be a first step to take them into formalization, where we give them basic, we'll progress into basic business management training and formalize them. I've been speaking with several banks. We'll also initiate a banking process where we open bank accounts for them with a minimum deposit of, say, $25, where they cannot go minimum. These are businesses that have not been operating in the formal sector, that have not been using the formal banking system. This will be an attempt to get them into it. So there are several initiatives that we are already putting in place. We're already started building relationship. There are several developmental opportunities there to provide support for the business environment, for the business community to develop those sectors, and we will prioritize it. Our objective is not only to create an enabling environment for everybody, be it foreigners, be it local businesses, to succeed, but to make sure Liberians are positioned properly in those key sectors to compete. And I think we can do that. We can truly transform this economy into a middle class economy by empowering our people into those critical sectors.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. And again, once again, folks, home and abroad, thank you for always joining Spoon. Amin and Kula, they are bringing up this number of people very interested in this new government. They want to hear nothing but the truth, and they want to hold people responsible for what they say. So as we move over to Glennie, I just want you to start thinking CTN. And I also want you to think about if it is a law that you must declare your asset prior to confirmation. It's very strong on that as well. And I also want you to think about you spoke about it also, but we're going to go very, very hard and deep on you today because we want the best for the program and Liberian people expect the best. But the overall view from our producer, Rome, a lot of people are appreciating you and Kula presentation tonight. I should give it to you with the first half as we move on. Glendy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's my turn. So I've heard you talk a lot about different things. Free market, talk about the fact that you're an entrepreneur, your experience. I don't think anyone on this platform or anyone listening to us can deny the fact that Lebanese people in Liberia have a higher percentage of businesses that they own in our country. My question to you is, when we're talking free market and we see that ordinary Liberians or Liberian business people, they're in a minority, and we know for a fact that the Lebanese community have a lot more of the stores and the businesses, and also will extend to the warehouses at Freeport. How will your leadership at the Commerce Ministry help to ensure that there will even be a possibility of free market when one group of our population is in the minority when it comes to businesses?
So first, I said I am a proponent of free market, but with to an extent of a command economy where there are some controls. So it's
Okay.
not going to be just a total free market. I like to say that we always have to tailor our policies, our regulations to suit our current environment. Okay, so let me establish that too. It's not about Lebanese, it's not about Indians, it's not about Chinese, it's not, you know. So I don't want to restrict it to any group of people. But what is frustrating Liberian entrepreneurship is not the free market, it's not the opening of the market. It's restricting of the market to satisfy specific groups of business entrepreneurs. Okay. And again, we're gonna open the market. I'm not gonna condone any form of direct or indirect monopolist. Over the last 6 years, no, I'm sorry, the previous 6 years before this administration, we saw the emergence of Liberian entrepreneurs. Liberians from the diaspora were actively exporting goods to Liberia. If you go on Camp Johnson Road, you saw an array of stores. Those were areas that were dilapidated, but they were taken over by Liberian entrepreneurs in the US. That declined significantly because of the environment that ensued, the cost of doing business, the cost of what's his name? Stan just talk about the CTN or what have you. The multiplicity of fees and cost of doing business frustrated that a lot. We'll delve, we'll strive, and we'll do everything possible to eliminate and reduce the cost of doing businesses. We'll also strive and do everything we can to ensure the efficient process of doing businesses. I'm hearing that businesses for the last couple of months, new businesses taking about 3 weeks to get registered or even more. At the end of Madam Sirleaf administration, we had cut that down to 3 days. We've gone to 14 days or more. We're gonna cut all that out. We're gonna make the Ministry of Commerce more efficient and more predictable in terms of how we do businesses. And the role of the Ministry of Commerce is not only restricted to the Ministry of Commerce, is also there to ensure that other agencies the LRA, the Ministry of Agriculture, that all the Ministry of Tourism, or the tourism agency that all form part of the trade of services, goods and services, also create an enabling environment. Another major problem in Liberia is access to financing. We'll diligently work with the various banks, the various development partners. We've already began discussions uh, with the IFC because we interacted with these agencies to understand, and we know the development funds that are there to create, to support Liberia, to support domestic enterprises and domestic businesses. We employ all that to ensure that Liberians can compete with our counterparts.
All right. So my next question is, we all hear about China Mall, and I like that you kind of your response has led me to my second question. Because you talk about commodities, you talk about quality of goods and services, but and then you also talk about the fact that you have a lot of diasporans who have businesses, who have had businesses in Liberia, but you also have individual Liberians that have their own businesses in Liberia, small businesses. So, do you think the fact that we have China Mall affects some some way our small businesses in Liberia? And if you do, what are your plans? What are you planning to do about that? Because if they're selling almost everything that a small business person is going to sell, and they're selling it at a cheaper price, you can clearly see that it affects some small businesses. So I'm asking if you think the fact that we have that, if it hurts our small businesses, and if it does, what are some of the things you will do to be able to curtail such if there's a need?
I don't think it really hurts Liberian businesses to the extent that we're looking at. Okay, one thing, there's a flip side to it. They are bringing commodities on the market that provides for those who can afford cheaper products. What is key is to make sure that Liberians are empowered to compete. There are several other sectors that we need to ensure that Liberian remain lead in those sectors. For example, the agriculture sector, the value addition sector, those various sectors. Librarians need to be supported towards, towards taking lead in those areas. Now, with a free market economy or anything close to a free market economy, Liberians should be able to import some of those things. I keep on asking myself, why are there no Liberian supermarkets? Why are there no Liberian malls? Okay, it's only financing. A lot of these businesses that you see that are large, is that because the owners or the shareholders have, those cash on their own, but they have the ability of sourcing those funds, and that's why we'll engage those banks, the various banks, to be able to dedicate funding towards Liberian entrepreneurs. If Liberian entrepreneurs want to get into value, into retailing, into mall, they should be able to have access to it. Now it brings me to a point, Glenda. The liberalization policy allows for Liberians only to participate in certain businesses.
Yes.
We'll enforce that to the letter. Make sure that we revise the list of those 21 businesses to make sure that they are inherent. They are relative to our current environment. Probably years ago, when it was formulated, it was about no one should import sugar or retail sugar.
Ice cream.
Probably now we should revise it. We should look at it to see if it's about Liberians getting into manufacturing, if it's about Liberians getting into certain products and commodities. We'll look at all that. We'll exhaust every means possible to make sure that we design our next 5 year strategy in consideration of our current needs.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
I mean, again, like I said, you and Madam Fofana, as the total when you check on YouTube, Instagram, Super Spoon and Fabric, we have over 7,023 folks live watching you guys. Not on the radio, we don't know the hundreds of thousands that listen to you. So this is big deal when you talk about the Commerce Minister and the Press Secretary. And we are pleased to announce that. But before I go over to Prince Maxwell, let me bring in some of our listener concern, their question, one of which I will bring in Armstrong Jabba. This is what he posted. I mean, if you like, please respond to it. He said, "A man who is you is talking about negotiating price of rice. That's a bad start. What say you?"
Did I say I want to negotiate the price of rice? No, I didn't say that. I said we want to create an environment where if someone can bring the rice for $5, they can bring it. Someone to bring super parboiled rice for $200, they can bring it, and all varieties are available to our people. However, we want to understand the market that we find ourselves in. We want to understand if there is a room to reduce the price of commodities, including rice, reasonably and fair to the importers, but also to ensure that they are not bringing things on our market to the detriment of our people. They are not pricing commodities that cost $3 in China or $3 in Europe, and by the time you put all the costs, it gets here for $6 and selling it for 200% profit. So it's not so much about pricing, it's understanding to make sure that we make informed decisions, we develop our policies based on facts.
The next question, again, folks, if you listen to please post your question. Please also include Kula if your question want to go to Kula or Amin. We want to hear from you before we go to the phone line. Amin, the next question, then we'll move to our brother Prince. What do we need CTN? CTN, Amin. Why?
So listen, I cleared a container yesterday of packaging equipment for packaging material, cartons for my factory. And I'm taking note of all of these things. One of the positive things of me going to the Ministry of Commerce again, as I've said, alluded before, is that I'm experiencing these things myself. I know what it means to have multiplicity of charges. Okay, we hear about CTN, we hear about another one, we hear about another one. Some of them not giving the true value of their mandate, but collecting charges. Before we get deep into it, we'll conduct a thorough assessment of their value to our economy, of value to our Liberian people. What I can assure people is that I already see a lot of room for reduce the cost of business in Liberia. I see a lot of room for reducing the cost of bringing goods into Liberia, and we're exhausted. you will see results within the first 3 months.
I mean, you've been bringing in continuous shaping, different stuff, and everything like every other Liberians. Do you think we really need the CTN? Not
I don't
as
think
a
so.
minister. Answer the question as a Liberian, not as the minister, sir.
I don't think so. I think we need a procedure that ensures that the Liberian government is not cheated of its revenue by thoroughly assessing commodities that come in, thoroughly assessing the standard and quality of things that come in, okay, and will ensure that the appropriate agency institution is empowered to do it. It's not only about the CTN stand; it's about the multiplicity of fees. After paying the CTN, you also look at charges from Merck Line. You know, after paying shipping costs in China, you come again and pay some documentation fee. All of those 20, 30, $100 add up to making it an expensive venture coming to bringing goods to Liberia. So we'll look at it holistically.
I
Senator,
just want to be clear. You just said you
Right.
don't think so, that is CTN is necessary.
No, I
Just
don't
to be
think
on the
so.
record.
I don't think
Thank
so.
you. Thank you. I mean, Prince Maxwell.
there's a
Richardson,
viewer, there was a viewer who asked a question after you were asking viewer questions. Did they
go
text
go
me?
ahead, Dr. Richardson. Then we'll bring in Prince.
Coretta Wallow wants to know, how are you going to do price control, such as the Indian or Lebanese store increase prices for diaspora Liberians compared to those living in Liberia? How will you target this issue when we go visit? Increase the price for us.
Well, the first thing that the commerce law is very, very strict and it addresses this. All prices of commodities displayed on shelves should be prices of commodities should be well displayed on shelves. You should be able to walk there. It should be predictable. You should see the cost of a bottle of water today. If there's any change, you should see it there tomorrow. And that comes with what I said before. Our inspectorate has to be very vigilant and very professional. I go into supermarkets, I see that. I'm going to supermarkets, and also the how we have to also look at be very critical. And if the importers, the distributors understand that we're vigilant, they are not going to continue such.
But I mean,
I have experience where you go. Yes,
how about when we're just walking well outside? Like when going into
yes.
the stores do have the prices there. But sometimes when walking well outside, it's like, different prices for us compared to different people.
But if it is predictable, if it is listed there, if that bottle of water, the price is well displayed as is required, they are not going to give you different price. And some of them, what they do, some businesses don't display those prices because they want to profile you. But again, our inspectors need to be vigilant to ensure that that is adhered to, and without any prejudice, without any biases, people should be held accountable. Businesses, if they violate those laws.
Thank you. I mean, we're going to take the two questions from Prince Maxwell. I mean, Kula have to leave because it's 6 o'clock. We do not want her going late. So Maxwell, you ask your two questions. We'll wrap up with Kula and keep Amin for the rest of the program because it's going to be 11 o'clock, 3 minutes to 11, and that will be 6 o'clock over here. So Maxwell.
Yeah, Mr. Minister Designate, I mean,
Maxwell, how are you?
congratulations.
Thank you.
I have known you for many years. You and I have been acquaintance. You've been very, I'm proud of you because you've been very dignified in your behavior, the way you carry yourself, and the way you have maintained your family and your reputation in Liberia. I
Thank
am
you.
proud of you. You
I'm
know
humble.
me. Great. All right. So let me just, your field is very technical. So forgive me for being forward because I myself am trying to understand. You spoke about understanding the market, and we know very well in Liberia that the current Ministry of Commerce is not data driven.
Is
How
that
do you
what?
intend? It's not data driven. It's
Right,
not
right, right,
technologically up to the par of the 21st
right,
century. How do you
right.
intend to solve that problem?
Look, I don't get anything. I don't get into anything in my life that I don't attempt to be the best at it and to not deliver. I hate to fail. I learn from failures, but I hate to fail. I hope I'm going to be confirmed by the Senate. If I'm not going to be confirmed by the Senate for whatsoever reason, so be it. But I'm already making sure that by the time I get there, per the instruction, per the desire of the president elect, we are hitting the ground running. I already have a team working on digitizing our business registration process to make it more effective so that you are able to process a lot of your business registration online based on certain criteria. For example, if it's just an ordinary business or investment, just a minor trading business, you should be able to do it like this. Okay, we have all the methods, all the advantages to be able to make that effective, including mobile payments and what have you. So there shouldn't be any reason why those are delayed. In terms of the institution itself, technology makes institution more effective and efficient, and will implore every means possible to make sure that it's done. We'll digitize the Ministry of Commerce from business registration to paying fees to sending in complaints, to address the import declaration. So many of those things were already put in place, but they were neglected because the system was not built to maintain and sustain it. We'll make sure that those things are done.
Okay. Thank you. My last question. We know fully well that the the hope and aspiration of the Liberian diaspora business sector is entrenched within the Ministry of Commerce. And you just spoke about it. I do remember over the years when I was at AMU University, there were a lot of stores in that area.
Right.
Over a period of time, all those stores just automatically vanished. And you also are aware that your incoming responsibilities is at the forefront of doing business policy in Liberia. The international community and our international investors have been constantly complaining of the lack of clarity in policy and implementation and a gateway on our doing policy framework in Liberia. How do you intend to resolve that misunderstanding so as to bring all of these parties that are interested in investing in Liberia, most importantly, our diaspora community and our foreign investors that want to bring in direct foreign investment, and where can they find all of this information compact together? Thank you.
So again, the Ministry of Commerce work goes beyond just the Ministry of Commerce. There are several things that inhibit foreign investment and inhibit Liberian entrepreneurship. And it includes that environment of doing business. One, from how you're received at the airport, to how you're received at the Ministry of Commerce, to how you're received at the Ministry of Agriculture if you want to go and do business. So there are several things that we will implement. We'll implement a one-stop shop system that was already conceived before but not rolled out appropriately in Monrovia at the airport and several other places. We'll work with several agencies of government to ensure that again we create an enabling environment. There are many things to address. Let's look at foreign direct investment. One of the things we're going to push for will be visa at arrival. That is a critical thing encouraging Liberian businesses and foreign businesses. We'll work on improving the process of getting work permits. Nowadays, you get work permit for 1 or 2 years, have to renew, you have to pay bribe. If a company is going to do serious investment in Liberia, starting from the top officials, they should be able to have 5-year work permits or 3-year work permits and pay for it. So a lot of the business facilitations, called business facilitation processes, will be improved across the country. At the Ministry of Commerce, again, will create that environment, that responsive environment. Look, we're going to go out within the first year to let the world know that we are back and ready to do business. Liberians in the diaspora are discouraged in coming back because of that environment, because of how they have, what they have experienced, the efficiency they experienced out there diminished over the last couple of years that they could not do it. I myself have been compelled to purchase trucks in Europe and pass them through Guinea because it was cheaper than bringing them through the free port of Liberia. We're gonna address all those things, and once people out there understand that there is a credible institution that abides by the rule of law. There is predictability in the regulations put forth by the government. They will be encouraged to do business in Liberia, and we'll work with all those agencies. I've been speaking to many of the ministers, including those that we think will be designated, for example, for more of a city corporation, other places, and you will see a new way of doing business. Within the first month, you will see collaborative efforts from various agencies going out there from business to businesses, starting with cleaning the state and making sure that, as Francine brought up, that things are displayed. There will be a joint tax force that will develop to ensure conformity and uniformity in how we approach developing, encouraging businesses to operate.
Man, I mean, to tell you the truth, I wish Kuda was home doing this show. I'm going to keep you guys here for the very, very late night because this is interesting. We're going to just pause on you. A lot of questions coming back to you, by the way, because, and a lot of people appreciating the fact that you know this area, you know this ministry. And but some very important questions coming up that we want to hold you to. Let's just bring in Madam Kola V. Fufana. When Kola appeared, and she just silent us like that. You had to bring up the question. Then you get Maxwell on her side too, and making things hard for us.
Kola is
Yeah,
she's a distinguished colleague, and now she's now a distinguished government official. There's nothing more to say, Stanton.
Kula, as always, I know you got to go home and you will come back. I just want to talk about this program, but someone want me to ask you, Kula, the inaugural program, what happened? If you were in the position to speak on the mess that took place, a Liberian died, his brother will be coming on the show shortly. The allegation of misappropriation of funds, whether the past government or folks that were assigned to these committees, saying that some of them took the money, the water issue, the heat issue, the president had heat exhaustion. We cannot hide that from our people. Everybody saw it live. Let's give you the time. First day in office. Address this issue. Talk to Liberians tonight.
Well, again, I have not been privy to see the report or if the committee has done a full report of the inauguration, because we will expect that by this time, the committee should be able to provide a report outlining what happened, instead of listening to allegations here and counter allegations there. So it is my hope that the committee will take seriously the need to do a comprehensive report on what was planned, what was budgeted for, what was received, and what went wrong in all of the different processes. Because, I mean, by virtue of the fact an inauguration is not a daily thing that happens, it's something that is planned once every 6 years based on the consistency of your, elections. So, and there were an awareness that after elections, there will be an inauguration. So it is our hope that the team will be able to do, if they have not, or if they're still doing it, to be able to share with us the report so that we're able to fully understand what went wrong. Because just by the allegations that's happening in the media, one person accusation, this other person, and we all saw it. We all, those of us who were there, we saw. I mean, what happened? It was humid. I had I was very happy in the morning. I got dressed in my African piece, my country club, and a lace red, white, and blue. Happy to go and celebrate. And where we sat, there were inadequacy of chairs. There were, I mean, the heat. I mean, all of the clothes that I had on from top to bottom were all very, wet with sweat. And likewise, international people, to a point where they were asking local people to get up from seats. So, I mean, obviously, we know things went wrong. And I think, and I do believe that after the report is done, I hope that the committee or the people who are in charge take responsibility for what went wrong. But at this point, we will need a full report to be able to fully give an opinion on what the next step and what needs to happen. But again, we all saw it. We know, I mean, the planning, probably there were cracks in communication. There were no enough air. There was not fan. There was no water, even food. People actually, while the inauguration was on, other people just went to start lining up for food, and a lot of different things happened. But from where we sit, we anticipate, and this is something that the president is very concerned about. Immediately, I'm sure immediately after the State of the Nation, we'll hope that there will be some meetings held with the team, because for us, again, like we said, accountability will play a paramount role in this administration. So any form of accountability, he takes it very seriously.
Was the president briefed thereafter by the committee?
About the
inaugural committee? Yes.
So as you know, I wouldn't. Okay, between when, because I just got appointed 2-3 days ago. So immediately after the inauguration, I wasn't part of the committee. I in the party doing our part of the work around, but I wouldn't know if he was briefed immediately after the inauguration activities. But it is my hope that he was. But if he wasn't, from what I do know, that he is taking this very seriously, and he has interest in.
Is the president demanding for a full report? Is that what you're saying? President Joseph Boakai is demanding for full report.
I am saying that's the expectation. I'm saying that's the expectation, that the committee will be able to provide comprehensive report of what happened, because the allegation, besides whether or not, even if there were or there weren't any form of allegation, is just professional, that if you are given a task to do by whoever, whether it's a principal or whatever, at the completion of the task, you must be able to provide update and report on what happened, whether it's the financial part or whether it's the activity part, whether it's whatever it is, but there's an expectation that you should give a comprehensive report. So I'm hoping that the team, the secretariat, will be able to do that and be able to brief the president immediately after the annual message. And I'm sure you will be hearing from us as to what the thoughts of the president is or has been on the report that has been received, because the Liberian people demand that, and they should be able to get it.
I would just highlight this from one of the local newspaper. As you can see, Liberia IAA Commission Special Audit of 2024 inauguration activities. As you can see it again, the Internal Audit Agency has announced the commissioning of a special audit of the 2024 inaugural activities managed by the Joint Presidential Transitional Team, the JPTT. So you're correct. So therefore, we will wait to see their audit and the report that will be given to the president. My last question to you: when will the JPP side of President Jose Yima Boakai be dissolved? Is it still existing? What's the time frame to officially dissolve that committee?
Well, I think at the moment, the committee, if it's not been officially dissolved, but I think there's an understanding that the roles, because like you mentioned, it was the it was a joint transitional team, and the transition has already happened. Specifically, the government has been inaugurated. So the government is in full swing. So probably maybe what is left, because what I do know actually is that most of the cluster working group have submitted reports on the different clusters they were working in under the transitional team. So at this point now, I'm sure it's just towards the conclusion of the rest of the activity, especially where there's a need to finalize reports and send it forward. The majority of the team members have done the report. But officially, I think there should be a point where, maybe by the inauguration, it officially dissolves it in a way. But I think there will be a need to formalize, that action when it comes to the transitional
My
team.
last,
Most of the transitional people have, pretty much done that part and they've left.
Yeah, but there must be an official document about it to dissolve this team, correct?
I didn't get the question.
There will be an official document dissolving the entire team upon the completion of the job, correct?
That would be an expectation, but so because when the team got together, it was to ensure that this new government take seat. And by the inauguration, that means the government, because most of the people who were actually even on the different committees and people who were holding on to government institutions, or people who were still in the position, have relinquished those, offices. So they're looking forward to our government now to take full charge, of every other thing. So I'm not sure of whether there will be an official letter or note to say now we have dissolved the transitional team, but by the inauguration, by the official turning over of power, I'm sure by the official turning over note, I'm hoping that most ministries and agencies have done turnover note or have left, turnover note in the different agencies. But yeah, by that, people who are holding on now are like the HROs, people who are civil servants in those different agencies as well. But the majority of principal, especially those who are not on turning position, have already left their different posts and offices.
Good.
So generally,
we really don't want to hold you too long. So therefore, we just ask just one person to ask you. You have to go. We got to do everything to protect you. The road is not too good. But let me ask this last question. I will squeeze it in while Glennie giving me
You
bad.
already had 3 last questions.
What I know, Glennie.
The guy is very pushy, huh?
I know 3 last questions. Let me ask my last.
Come on, business here.
Listen, I can call Kula and answer all my questions, but let me just go ahead and ask this question openly. Kula, we got this problem happening. 1 minute, you guys, unless I know you just got in 3-4 days ago, but unless we come out, I'll have another name of appointment. For example, Jonathan Massaquet. Then they'll put a list by and say, oh no, that's an error. That list never came from the president office. Then another minute we have another list of Kuda, what's going on and where are we? Who now you in position now? Everybody looking onto you to release those documents. Well, are we still going to see those kind of transaction?
Well, first of all, when you see an official list, there are parameters or certain things that you have to look for to know that it's official. We're in this day and age that anybody, because of the excitement, everybody or politically people, somebody will go and draw up their own list and publish it. But the list you're referencing, the list that you wouldn't see maybe the heading or even a signature or those lists being signed to say this person is appointed. And you also have to know the source of where you're taking your list from. So the sources of our list will be, for example, you look on the Executive Mansion website or the official pages of the Office of the Press Secretary, the official Facebook page, and in some cases, maybe mine, once I post it or say, this is legit, or sharing it, because at this point we want to make sure that everybody gets our information.
Sorry to interrupt you because these people want to kill me. Just to be frank, it will come from you or the executive.
This is the final of the final, eh?
Final of the
last. Life after this life.
It will come from you or the Executive Mansion website, correct?
So I posted on the Executive Mansion website, pretty much.
So it must come from you.
Yes. So once it's on the Executive Mansion, and then so with the Executive Mansion, you wouldn't have my signature on it because it's on the Executive Mansion website.
Yes.
So if it's any other source like newspaper or somebody sharing it, you'll see my name like signed at the bottom of the list if it's from a newspaper or sharing on the so that will be legitimate. So any other list that's not from me, and let me just clarify, I'm not the one who's doing the appointment. I'm just a messenger.
You just put that out there, correct? Thank you very much.
Once I receive
one question, I
We got one
Yeah,
more.
one question
Yes.
each. I know Prince Master don't want to ask questions. Dr. Richardson and Glennie, ask your last question, and we'll excuse Kula. Kula, thank you very much from my end. Thanks for giving us the first interview. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
I know it's late, so I'll try to be quick. Okay. I wonder if you guys can get the people from Cape Mount together, because that road is very terrible, and you're in a position where you can whisper into the president's ear. I know there's a process in terms of how the road gets selected to be fixed, but that road been like that forever. And I'm happy here because every day when Glenny County show the Bassa people can be here, at least you can cover somebody from Cape Mount. And thank you for explaining how you interface with the common people, the VIP, and all of that. So I just wanted to tell you that we get a Cape Mount people together, that fence the road, so that Cape Mount area is beautiful. Okay.
So what specific part of Cape Mount? What specific part of Cape Mount road are you talking about? You mean it?
I'm actually from Robertsport.
Okay.
Straight
How's
there.
your vibe? How's your vibe? Is it there or is not
You
there?
see, you see. Now
She
you
said
can
not
put yourself
there.
in tone and Dr. Richardson.
She make it. She didn't make it.
I love Cape Mount so much.
All right.
But she make it.
I tell you, Robertsport, you say how
She's
I'm
not in
vibe.
love, but she's not making. No,
She
but
make
you're
it.
right. You're right. And the interesting thing about the road, the Mandina road to Mandina to Robertsport, is actually one of, if that road can be fixed from Robertsport to Monrovia, it's really not far.
No.
And Robertsport is a very beautiful city.
It's like
The view, if you just go up St. Timothy at the hospital, you go at the back of the hospital where the tower is, you just watch the view. It's so amazing. You have, and talking about, in fact, interestingly, one of the things that this government is taking seriously is the bill. I'm going to spill this. The president will definitely talk about it. But it's the bill on tourism. So tourism is something that we're very, this government is passionate about. And good thing that the incoming minister for commerce is also on this, show. And it's important. Tourism, Liberia has a lot of opportunity to attract, tourism, and how we can ensure that we receive, revenue from our tourist, sector. So that is something that the government, the president is very passionate about. And Cape Mount, trust me, Cape Mount is part of the plan, and I'm hoping that the designated minister for public works, please put Cape Mount as your priority. Yeah, please make Cape Mount the Medina to Robertsport road, because if we're talking tourism, we need people to go there. If that road is bad, it's not going to work. Trust me, I'm going to be in his
I
ear.
think Roland Giddens for fun.
Giddens?
Giddens.
I want Giddens guy. He the one at public works, so that when I will need to post
I Lafayette Giddens. So yes, so he's really good. I'm gonna be his ear too, because at the end of the day, I'm from Cape Mount. I ran, and in that particular area is under my constituency, district number 2. So, and having an opportunity to be where I am now, the people of Grand Cape Mount also are very excited, but they also as an opportunity that you can say one or two, whoever you can meet, pass on the note, advocate for your people. Sometimes it's not just about you being there for you, but it's the bigger picture, your people, your community. So they say Kula is there. We hope that she can pass on this message, because we know the problem. Trust me, I go to Cape Mount all the time. I Robertsport, I ran. I have a lot of things happening there. Before now, this portfolio that I'm in, before I was teaching at the University of Liberia, there in Cape Mount as assistant dean for student affairs in Sinje. So trust me, I know how challenging the issues are, and I'm going to try my best to be in the ears of the people who ears I can meet. Please, Minister Giddens, put Cape Mount priority on our role portfolio.
The Commerce Minister for tourism. I told my own question. You the Commerce Minister here for tourism. Could I mention that? Put it on your portfolio too. I feel my own question, Glennie.
Yes.
So my last question. My last question is about collaboration. We heard about the new information minister. Congratulations to Jeremiah Pierre. What I want to ask you is, so that we don't see the press people disjointed, we don't see that press secretary will be issuing a report or doing a press conference that information has no idea about, and the press union that there is no. I want to find out from you What are your expectations as it relates to collaboration with the Ministry of Information? What can we look forward to as it relates to working together?
I think that's a very important aspect. And from my experience in government, that is one of our major challenge, the Liberian system, because you have people doing same thing, but in silos and working differently. Everybody trying to protect their own turfs and doing their own thing. But you again, collaborating will help utilize the little resources that you have that you can spread over to gain a greater impact. So we're going to work very hard in working with to collaborate. Good thing we have relationship with the minister, the designated minister. We have relationship with the media. I'm somebody who have been in the media for quite some time. Like my bachelor's is in mass communication. I interned with way down the line with Truth FM, and then I became a broadcast journalist there. I was some point on TV, and then on radio. I even helped produce the Truth Breakfast show. So I'm aware of some of these issues when it comes to the media, and knowing, and I know a lot of journalists and the people within the media landscape. So my hope, besides just with the Ministry of Information, my hope will be to collaborate not just with government entities, but with the private media as well, the different institutions, to see how we can leverage, I mean, at the end of the day, even though we'll be propagating the office of the presidency, but at the end of the day, it's about the country. It's about the country, what we can, the stories we tell, how we control our own narrative for the country. It's not about looking at the media as labeling, even though there are individual journalists who try to muscle the government in a way, but our goal is not to label people. I look forward to working with all institutions, even if they say, I mean, I know I had some issues when we were in the campaign period, because for me, even if you say these people don't like your business, in fact, those are the people I want to engage with. Those are the people I want to engage with, because at the end of the day, you can never tell. I mean, you can all there's a soft spot somewhere, there's a meeting part somewhere that it will be important for collaboration. And I look forward to collaborating with our people internally, but more so with private media and Spoon. Trust me, I will bulk SSTT and Stanton, all of you. I mean, will be asking you all to do a lot for us, to be able to tell the story. And the good thing about this era is that the diaspora have really been engaged throughout the election process. So it is important to maintain that form of engagement, so the diaspora is aware of what's happening in the country, and you play a perfect role in helping us doing that. And part of the annual message will also cover the diaspora, asking all of the people in the diaspora to find means and ways in which you can come and help support your government, because the diaspora, beyond just supporting your 5 cents, 10 cents, is something that, I mean, we look forward to maintaining that relationship and that cordiality between the government and the people. I mean, regardless of what part of the world you find yourself, the social media, this form of media connect, and so how do we utilize that connectivity for the greater good of our country? That is what will be important for our government.
Thank you.
Kola, thank you very much. Kola V for Fuana. I myself, I have to run. Want to say we'll be living together, and I leave Amin in the good hands of Prince Maxwell and the 2 troublesome ladies on Spoon Talk. Kola, as always, we talk to you. We know we've been chatting, and I wish you well. Congrats to this new position. Godspeed. Let's help move our country forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Kola.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. I mean, on your own. I gotta go, my man.
You're leaving me with them. Oh, thank you.
No, I mean, I just have 3 questions, and the other people can just go on a question. So,
because what happened is, 1 minute, Prince. I beg you. Let me say this real quick, because let's welcome Musa Hassan Bility. Musa, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us, and welcome every one of you. We want to say, I mean, Musa say you are the next commerce minister. That's why he pushed in. I don't want to flag it, because Senegal become a representative. I don't like him, so I'm not going to flag anything.
Who you like? Everything.
I know.
So I want to say, because I have to go. My beautiful wife's birthday was on the 24th, and it's dinner time. So if I want to live to see the next second, I must leave. I mean, but I will have you again a lot of questions coming, and Dr. Richardson will flag those questions coming in. And you guys have a
Thank you.
wonderful. Thank you.
Enjoy your dinner.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Thank you. Yeah.
good husband. Yeah. Yes, here we are. I have a question, and then we'll go to Glennie, and then of course go to Prince. My
Sure.
question to you, I was relating to like online registration of businesses, something that you
Right.
mentioned before. Um, are you going to also look into uh, the the selling that we have all over? I'm transitioning. I like the thing that you said about online business, but in Liberia, all over the place, people have small little business spot market and stuff like that. I can't fault them. That's just how it's been over the years. Okay. Do you have any plans to tackle that to make sure that at least it can be regulated or I don't know how you
Right.
make sure that we're not even buying expired things from the streets,
Right.
manage these small little table markets and stuff like that. I know the people need it to survive, but how do you manage that?
So as you create a resilient and very versatile economy, these businesses will evolve. Okay, and as I stated before, we'll take the first step into ensuring that within the first year that we strategically try to elevate the informal sector to the formal sector. I mentioned beginning with the first year of free registration, at least getting them into the system and giving them some sort of identity as Liberian businesses that are emerging. And with that identity, also tailor programs that will develop them and graduate them to the next level. This is very essential. The informal sector plays a very critical role in our economy, but they are operating in isolation of the entire system. That's why they are not benefiting from bank financing. They are not benefiting from development funding and what have you. They're not truly benefiting, harnessing some of the incentives that the government provides for like grant entrepreneurs. We're
Mm-hmm.
also already discussing with several banks. GT Bank and IB Bank are already on board in creating that platform where, in conjunction with registering those businesses free of charge, we'll also set up uh, business accounts with minimal requirement, deposit requirement, for example, only $25. We encourage these guys that if by the end of the year you graduate and you save up to $100, that $25 become yours. I mean, we'll tailor it to encourage them to move up. And look, nobody inherently wants to remain stagnant. Okay, nobody wants to remain peddling shiny shoes or peddling with in wheelbarrows. They want to graduate if they are thought and guided properly, and that's a key responsibility of the Ministry of Commerce to provide such sensitive information. One of the things that even when I was chair of the United Party that I tried to instill is communication between all parties. And so within the Ministry of Commerce, we'll try to ensure that there's a proper framework and platform for dialogue between the Ministry of Commerce, i.e. the government, and the business community. We'll start up, at various tiers. We'll develop a business roundtable where we get CEOs, the big players, the heads of big companies, banks on the table to address and understand what their needs are. And if we're able to support them and also get their buy-in in some of the policies and some of the changes that we want to implement, it will trickle down to the smallholders. Okay. I believe the informal economy is far larger than we anticipate. It's far larger than they anticipate. And I don't think, I'm very confident that Liberian entrepreneurship has not taken lead because they have not been prioritized. And I'm very confident that the resilience that we see down in the market with the old man that wakes up every day, if you really sit, I'm writing my second book on the environment. If you really sit and see what these small holders go through, to conduct small businesses, if they are guided properly, those that resilience, that energy, that focus, that drive to become successful will translate into real success stories that we have. They wake up while you are waking up 6 o'clock, they wake up 5 o'clock,
Exactly.
4 o'clock to get to those areas to do business. We need
Yes.
to transform all of that, and I think we can do it.
Yeah, that sounds like music to my ear. Incorporating the undercover businesses into the larger economy. My next question to you, when I think about the U.S. The Liberian embassy in the USA, I think about getting visa to go to Liberia. How do you think you're going to integrate the Liberia's Department of Commerce with the embassies around the world with diplomacy? Because I think they can be used instrumentally.
Right, right. Look, if you look at the world, the entire world, politics of the world is based, and people underestimate trade, is based on many countries, including the US foreign policies, are based on trade policies, based on what countries do, how they conduct trade. We will try to prioritize our trade policy. We are really not harnessing the benefit of international integration. For example, we benefit from several accords, including the ECOWAS Free Trade Agreement. But Liberia is not benefiting from the reciprocity of those agreements. We see products coming in from Ghana, from seasoning to canned sardines, that we are not exporting to those countries because we haven't conformed and built our system where we are living up to that standard, or we are focusing on value addition. Under the leadership of President Boakai, we will focus on graduating those smallholders from petty trading to more serious retailing to wholesaling, but most importantly, and this is the key of our economic drive over the next 5 years, adding value to our resources. Look, I am in fact manufacturing. $10,000 can start a very effective cassava processing small plant that will produce farina, what we call gari, or produce starch. Those are minimum investments that can graduate 100 persons by just investing, about $1 million into it. This is something we can do. The donor funding is there. And one of the cool things I'm so impressed with so far the construct of President Boakai's government. You have Boma Kamara at finance, who's a young person with creative mind. You have Dobo Jala, who's going to LRA, who understands, who has integrity, who understands what it means to develop Liberian entrepreneurship. When he was at I think PPCC, he tried to promote that 25% Liberian share in doing business. And I think with that team that we are building, we'll really across the board create an enabling environment for Liberian entrepreneurs.
Lindy?
All right. So I wanted to ask about, want to make sure that Commerce Ministry, the functions and your leadership is not just centralized in Monrovia. So how are you, what are your plans to ensure that whatever is done in Monrovia is extended to the rural area and the businesses that will
Right.
exist in those areas?
So I alluded first earlier on of establishing that one-stop business concept, stop shop concept. That was developed. The concept, the ideas were developed long ago during Madam Salif government. We faltered on implementation. So gradually we'll roll out. Again, this cannot be in absence of a holistic national development agenda that effectively has trade mainstream in our agenda. We need to understand that at this point, the only way to develop our economy is through our comparative advantage, our resources, our minerals. So we need to start beginning to add value and create that environment, and that involves easing the process and cost of doing businesses at all border points, making sure at the airport when you get out there from the airport you're able to conduct business effectively. That one-stop shop concept will be implemented there. At the various seaports, also will develop it. And with the migration into into technology, we'll be able to ensure that a lot of the services that are ordinarily hindered by the cumbersome physical need to go to a Ministry of Commerce can be done online. A lot of the information that people need can be gotten online. I remember when I got into the trade development arena in 2007. I tried to do a study tour in several countries to see countries that that have similar history like Liberia, similar economies. I went to Rwanda. I went to Malaysia. Those are countries that had, for example, Rwanda had war, and I saw what they did. I saw the effectiveness of their Ministry of Commerce. I saw the structure and how they prioritized, Rwandan businesses, how they digitize the system to make it more efficient. And we have the brains. We have the people, IT specialists out there that can make this thing so simple for all of us. One of the things that were rolled out in Kenya was a digital system where it facilitates trade between the the farmer in Grand Jide, who produces, for example, 25 bags of cassava. There should be the technology put in place that when farmer A produces 20 bags of cassava, there is a repository of information, a central point where that goes, and anybody who wants to buy cassava can relate to Paul. Okay, there are so many minimum cost-effective ways we can develop trade and develop our environment, our economy, and we'll exhaust those. We understand it.
So I think one of the ways, the many ways we can also help to develop the economy is also by ensuring that we produce rice home. So if we're and I'm asking or I'm seeing if you agree that the price of rice is can be effectively positive by in reduction if we produce more rice at home. So what are your plans to ensuring that we have farmers in Liberia produce rice there, so we have less rice imported into the country and more grown domestically, where we can be able to have the price reduced?
So a lot of it has to do with the policies put in place by various sectoral agencies. For example, the policies put in place by the Ministry of Agriculture. I know there are policies and strategies out there for improving the rice production. I know there are strategies out there that I was part of in the early, I think around 2010. There's a cassava strategy out there to enhance the production of cassava and the value addition of cassava. So again, we will work together in doing this. When I was at the Ministry of Commerce between 2007 and 2010, we developed a national steering committee that brought together key trade related agencies of government, agriculture, lands and mines. Believe you me, tourism is part of trade because it's a tradable service. We had also the Ministry of Planning, several sectors. But we also brought on that table the donor community, development partners who were interested in those sectors. So it was so easy to translate those strategies into realistic agenda and make sure and ensure that they were mainstream not only in our national development agenda but into the programming of the development partners. So it was in sync. So those support will be out there. The World Trade Organization, the International Trade Center, and most of those trade-related development partners have sufficient support for least developed countries and countries like Liberia that are rising up to develop your capacities to compete and participate in the global trading system.
Thank
And
you.
we know how to harness that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just a small follow up. We also have a lot of those technology that is already in Liberia with Liberians knowing how to do them. So we will hope that the ministry will invest in those people, making sure they expand, because I'm sure the agriculture ministry have followed and they've done some work. And
Right.
so we will have what we need within Liberia that we could use. Thank you,
No,
Prince.
we do, and we do have the interest. I don't think we need to teach Liberians how to farm. I think we need to guide them in how to migrate from just farming into better technology to produce more and to add value. You go into the interior to the uneducated farmer, he'll tell you how he can produce rice. He might not have market access, he might not have the ability to transform it into value addition, and it is our responsibility to guide them through to that. And this brings to mind in 2007, we developed a proposal that the development partners were poised to support. It was what we call the Value Addition Center. And since we were unable to support individuals across the country, we developed a proposal where we have centralized points in various counties. For example, Bon counties, satisfying that region, Nimba, Bassa, where we develop centers that farmers can bring their products to add value. Instead of opening 10 different factories, someone who's producing cassava can bring their cassava to that value addition center in Buchanan. That
Mm-hmm.
center will process, dry, and package them,
Mm-hmm.
prepare them to meet the quality standards for domestic consumption and export. And it was built around that nucleus estate concept. And it can happen. It can happen if the government remains vigilant, if there is a a synchronization of the government's agenda with the development partners.
All right, thank you.
Prince.
Yeah, Mr. Modad. There are many things. I mean, the comment section is full with people asking questions, and
Mm-hmm.
that brings to mind that you have a legacy now to uphold, because it starts from the moment you were designated as Minister of Commerce. But let me bring you back, because the Ministry of Commerce, I believe, has a duality mandate, both international and domestic. So I'm going to ask you questions from these two pillars. The first question from you, from my side, was the Ministry of Commerce seemed to have a lot of presidential will and executive orders. Over the years, we've seen that occur in Liberia a lot. And we know fully well that as international history has proven, when President Joe Biden took over, almost 60% of his executive order was made towards the investment sector. You coming in as a policy maker and influencer to the president of the Republic of Liberia, what would be that first executive order that you'll be influencing the president to make as it relates to the domestic sector of Liberia for Liberian businesses?
Well, opening the market immediately and providing incentives, whether fiscal or non-fiscal incentives for key commodities within the first year. Executive orders that will allow, for example, building materials to come in with minimum duty and and charges, making sure. And I don't want to do this in absence of a full-fledged strategy. That's why one of the things that the President Boakai requested from me, and I'm sure from many of those that he appointed, is to come to me with a strategy for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, and the next 1 year. And as far as I'm concerned, within the first 30 days, I must be able to assess not only the market environment, as I alluded before, the prices of commodities and what have you. I must also be able to assess the the strength of the Ministry of Commerce, its capacity to implement its mandate. Because without a vibrant and very dynamic institution, a lot of these things will not be implemented. You highlighted a very key issue. There has always been a disconnect between very good policies, very good ideas, and how they are implemented. And that is because along the way, we faltered in ensuring that these policies, sectoral policies, are effectively mainstream in the national development agenda. You cannot have a national development agenda, for example, if our comparative advantage at this time is our resources, our ample rainfall, what we are able to produce, that it is not enshrined in that development agenda to ensure that those agencies are given the support and those sectors are given the support. Look, I have seen for too long that agencies are just operating to pay salaries for civil servants, without any actual activity within their sector that implements or develop those sectors. Ministry of Commerce, take for example, Ministry of Information and Tourism, they have not really been functional. Okay, and we have to change that. We'll develop programs that are tied into our strategic plan. And you will see that, I can assure the Liberian people, you will see that within the first 3 to 6 months.
Okay. Now, my second question. Now we go to the international.
Yes.
The Ministry of Commerce policy is also a part of Liberia's foreign policy, and in many ways, it brings and enhances Liberia relationships with its key developmental and business partners around the world. So I bring you back to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Commerce, I believe, should have a very good relationship, and as you agree with me. So by that, in terms of trade and investment promotion, you spoke about the issue of visa policy, looking at the visa policy and working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to realign the visa policy in tandem with your goals and objectives of achieving the president's vision in terms of budget. are you also thinking about the issue of the African free trade area, free trade agreement area that we now have called the, if I do remember, yes, the African Continental Free Trade Area
Right.
Agreement. Are you
Right.
are you thinking about ways of working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Office of the President, to align your policies in that area so as to adjust Liberia's position on the international stage?
Yes. So take for example the US. If you have a vibrant system, most countries, and I said this before, base their foreign policies on their trade regimes and trade policy. So you will find that most developed countries that are keen on this have commercial attaches in each country. Okay. I understand the budgetary limitations. I understand our circumstances, but we'll make sure we establish those in key trading partners, key countries that want to either enhance our trade, develop new trade relationships, and what have you. So that will be a priority. We'll utilize also in the interim what they have there. Just basic communication, sending to each of these agencies investment guides, trade leaflets that identify our products or what we have to offer as a country makes a huge difference. Those can start translating into immediate gains. People go to the embassies around the world, like your embassies, and they ask questions. They don't have those information. Starting with that, when you go to the embassy, you must be able to get some information. When you go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website and the Ministry of Commerce, you must be able, and NIC, of course, to understand without going in depth what we have to offer. The NIC needs to be supported beyond just granting incentives. I think there's a disconnect with just granting incentives. The Ministry of the NIC needs to delve also into its key mandate, investment promotion. If you look at many countries around the world, Dubai and what have you, Singapore, Malaysia, they invested into selling the country's image and selling out there what the country has. We'll start off, the Ministry of Commerce will start off collaboratively with NIC, the Ministry of Agriculture, to have roadshows, not just to travel out there, but to be able to go out there and sell our products. I have tried, in a couple of my companies, again, what I experienced as an entrepreneur is very key on how I try to translate to transform the Ministry of Commerce. We go out there, we hear about trade shows that Liberians should be participating in that Liberians don't. You go there, you see exhibitors from Ghana, from other countries, and they are selling. They are making millions of dollars. We need to start prioritizing those things. And that's why that collaborative effort with the various agencies of government, the various business community, that roundtable of businesses that I spoke to you about will come in place. How we get the buy-in. Many of these large foreign businesses might be able to contribute towards a fund, as a trade development fund, wherein they can co-sponsor small Liberian holders to exhibit at trade fairs. So
Mhm.
it's about innovation, it's about focus.
All right. Lastly, just to not to bog you with too many questions, in your ministry's sector, there are a lot of nefarious dealings that can go on there. Not necessarily you doing it. And one of those nefarious dealing is anti-money laundering. How do you intend, as your ministry overseeing a sector could easily be used to create organized crime or anti-money laundering? How do you intend to bring yourself to create deterrence for that?
Okay, so we've deliberated this in to length, especially recently when we're doing the cluster work. There are a lot of things that can be done. I won't diverge all of them. But one of the initial assessments that we're going to do is to understand who are doing businesses in Liberia. Okay. I don't want to say we'll profile, it's not going to be profiling, but if you are established here, there should be some things you're able to disclose, from your ownership to your shareholders and what have you. We'll work with the central bank. Again, there are so many things we can do collaboratively to ensure that we have a very, very, very rigid and credible environment. I don't want to divulge into a lot of them at this time, but rest assured it's a concern.
Yes, we want to just tell you thank you, Mr. Ami, for coming here. We really hope to have you back to answer a lot of the Liberian people questions. They had a lot of questions for you today. So you want to just give us your final words, and then we'll do our final closing for the show for tonight.
Sure. First of all, I wholeheartedly thank you guys for inviting me on. I want to reassure the Liberian people that President Boakai did not make a mistake. I have a lot to prove, and I have a lot to change. You know, I sit and wonder a lot of times. You see, other countries have legacy stories. For example, business people are able to turn their companies over to, you know, their children, their children. When I was writing my first book, I discovered that Liberia was one of the first in Africa to have a shipyard.
Yes.
Because of the transatlantic slave trade, many, during those days,
Mm-hmm.
transited through Liberia to go to the
Yeah.
West Indies. And we
Correct.
have a thriving ship making, sector here. Where
Mm-hmm.
did it go? It begins with implementing those policies at the Ministry of Commerce, ensuring that Liberians are empowered, that the Ministry of Commerce has the capacity to deliver. And I can assure you I will foment that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can't wait for you to come back. There's a lot to talk about. So thank you. You can excuse yourself, or we're just going to do
Sure.
our closing. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful show! A lot of information today, that we can chew on. But so let's do our closing. Maxwell, will start with you, and
Yeah,
then go to Cindy, and then we'll go to, and then I'll be the last.
absolutely. Uh, First and foremost, today was a very good day. The two official designate that came on today, they did extremely well in answering their questions. A lot of our people in our comment section said why I did not ask Madam Kula the questions necessary. You should understand that I respect Madam Kula a lot. Not that I'm afraid to ask questions, but I knew that the subject matter of the things that were to be discussed and to be answered were already being discussed and being answered. So I never needed to push more on that. Kula will come back in the future on the show. I hope that we all be here, long life, so that we can be able to ask her more questions. Most importantly, I was very, very impressed by the Commerce Minister designate Amin Modad. I was very impressed of the way he answered those questions, the way he took his time, the language used, his thought processes, direct response to those key issues, the way he connected intergovernmental organization in terms of finding operabilities. I really respected that, and I like the fact that he's thinking through his issues. I think he has just given us a bird's eye view into his confirmation process. I think he's just giving us that. That with that being said, I think he will do well on his confirmation hearing because he understands his environment. He understands the subject matter within that space, and I think he has built a lot of relationship over the years as a businessman in Liberia to leverage that for his confirmation. So kudos to him and all the best. It's a good choice on the part of His Excellency President Boakai, and it's also a good choice on the part of Excellency Boakai to choose Kula as press secretary. Thank you.
Yeah. I think it was a really good show. I like the guests. They were both very poised. They were very they knew the subject matter. They answered the questions well, and they were prepared. And you just know that they know where they're going. I mean, has a lot of experience with Commerce Ministry, what it entails. He has a whole plan on what he's looking forward to doing and all of those things. I like, of course, Kula. I am immensely proud of her. Everybody was saying Dr. Richardson was very happy today that I had a lot of women here. We had 3 women today. They said Dr. Richardson is so happy today. But it was a good show to have 2 great guests. Like Prince had said about, I think he will do very well at the confirmation hearing. And it's almost like when you sit and you hear people that are appointed to positions where they have an experience for, it makes it so much easier. and you can just enjoy them and wish them all the very best. I like the fact that Kula is even looking at collaborating with other people, other news agencies. That's key. It's like, don't think that you're in a bubble or you're in isolation of others. You're looking forward to working together. So to both of them, I wish them all the absolute best. We will be watching. Well, of course, we will be criticizing or giving critique where it's needed. And great show. We look forward to seeing their how they perform, because we can only anticipate that their performance will be better as they progress in this. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, I want to join both Glendy and Prince to just say we have great guests today. They were wonderful. They knew their subject matter. They had goals. When I heard Kulak talking about, I'm willing to interface with, the Minister of Information. I want to
Yes.
be able to present President Buckeye to the common people, the regular people. I want to be able to also be able to move between our international community, VIPs, and also to the common man, Taya, that's what she said.
Mhm.
Married. So I love that about her. She spoke well. I think she's a good fit for that job. She's
Yes.
absolutely. We know appointments here where people have had mismatch going on, but she is a good fit, and that's what I was looking for today. Moving on to Ami is also a wonderful fit. I pray that he gets through the nomination. He presented us different levels. I didn't have the pleasure of asking a lot of questions that people wanted to know about Waterside, because that's our commercial district in our country. But I'm sure he's listening. Because of time, I couldn't ask it. Somebody wanted to know about Waterside. Are they going to make Waterside, accommodating to all of the business people, the people who are shopping and stuff like that? Because right now, the state of Waterside is of a great concern. And I also, I heard has great plans for Liberia, liberalization policy. He wants to make sure that the diaspora community, we are included in, the business aspect of Liberia, which is great. I wanted to ask him what plans does he have to integrate tourism, attracting diaspora in the not only diaspora but Americans and other nationalities into selling our country to them. He did speak a little bit about selling the image of Liberia, because I get so kind of unsettled when I hear about Ghana taking all of the tourists away from us, and
Yes.
Iraq is a great place for the connection between the American Liberians and also the and Liberians at home, in Liberia as a whole. So yeah, definitely great guest. So I see Nelson here, so I'll be quiet now so he can kind of take his show from us. So yeah, little, yeah, thank you Stanley, for joining us, and great question, viewers. Nelson, take a show for us. So,
All right, Nelson.
Dr. Richardson,
7 o'clock.
I thought you were taking calls.
Oh, we can take calls, please. Yeah, yes, that's something.
Yeah.
Let's take calls.
Yes, we can take calls.
Okay, so let me put the number up. You can call us up on 0555 101075 and you'll be live. Let's take our first call here. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we are live. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Ali speaking from Morville. This is FDA Bonafide.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Let me call the minister tonight. I'm very, very happy that I'm moving forward to another level. What he was speaking on, you implement it, because I time people will come and say it, and when you go ahead, you notice that things change. And I also tell you, thank you very much because getting the wisdom, the opportunity that we look forward to.
Thank you.
The appointment.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We take another one here. Hello, you're live.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is something Kawi calling from district number 4.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Oh, I tell Mr. Modad, thank you very much for what he said. To say it, not a thing, but to
do the will of the Liberian people. And I said, Madam, thank you very much for the outspoken what she said also. At least let them able to work on what they are saying.
Okay.
You hold them by their word. So thank you very much for the show. I said that the president, thank you very, very much. Thank you also.
Thanks a lot for your contribution. We take this person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
I'm Christopher. I'm only concerned about the marketeers selling all in the street of the Republic. I pray that the new government will actually take them to where they belong in the market. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We take another person. Hello, your name and where you call from? Hello.
Oh, this is Moses, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay, let's hear you, sir.
I just want to commend you guys as always. Spoon has got upgraded actually with the kind of panelists we have. I'm very impressed with all of you all of the time.
Thank you.
And again, I'm highly impressed with the guests we had tonight. And I'm impressed with Mr. Modad. I think we are heading in the right direction. We are having a great Liberia soon.
Okay.
Thank you all for all you do, and God bless.
Thank you very much. We take another person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from? Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Please go ahead.
Good evening. How you doing?
Yes, sir. You're live on the show.
My name is Emmanuel Mark, and my name is Emmanuel Mark, and I'm calling from Philadelphia. I want to thank your studio guests in there. I am hoping and praying that all those things that he said, God will help him, that he will be able to fulfill them. Like the previous caller said, people say those things when the time comes, they do not do it. But the question that I posed, I don't know whether he ever listened to it. When you check out in Liberia, you find out all those people will bring all those cows from Guinea or from whatsoever they're taking them from, whether they are sick or not. And those cows, they are all in the street, shitting all in the street when they're carrying them to feed them. My question I will ask him, does he have any plan to change the scenario wherein they will relocate those people on a farm like something wherein they will be able to leave the street and treat them well before bringing them in there? Okay. Because when you check that slaughterhouse, it's a mess. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, let's take this call. Hello, you're live, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
Good evening. This is Steve Adams calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, let's hear you, sir.
My inquiry to Minister Designate Amin, what are you going to do about this whole concept of monopoly for certain key commodities in the country that I believe is a direct contributor to the high price of those commodities? I'll let you to expand on that, please. Thank you.
Yeah, and let's take another person here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from, please. Hello. Hello. Yes, sir.
I'm John Studer. Yeah, I'm John Studer calling from Germany.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I want to tell the incoming Common Minister thank you for that brilliant answer. And I hope also what all he said must implement. If you implement what he said, it will be a good thing for we that outside the country and for the Liberian people as well.
Thank you
for that.
Thank you, sir. We take another call here. Hello. Okay, let's come here and take this person. You're live. Your name and where you call from? Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Sarah M. Gray. I joined the conversation from Cloudtown, and I'm the co-chief for administration for the Rescue Protector.
Rescue what?
I have several
You said rescue what?
in which I had get to Spoon.
Hello.
But firstly, before going to my recommendation, let me appreciate the Minister Designate of Commerce. He spoke lengthily. And like what all of the callers are saying,
those people that always elected by the president, whenever they come in, they always come with stream of hope, pray that all of what he said might be implemented through his own time. Okay. And lastly, my recommendation to Spoon is you guys really need to pay attention to the local quarters because we are the one feeling the pinch of all of what's going on in Liberia. We are the one feeling the pinch. So if you prioritize local quarters, we make our views why they are on show. I think it would be rightful one and they will respond. See the question it will there's another caller just give. Who will respond to the question?
Okay,
Mr.
thank you. Thank you, sir.
So that's my recommendation. I beg people. Several times I try the line to go to, but
hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We don't get to see who's calling or pick which call to take. No, the calls are pouring in their numbers, and we can only take the few that we're able to take at the moment. So if you tried and you didn't make it, just keep trying because you could just be the caller the next time.
But on a funny speaking,
thank you, sir.
Extremely well for the election of.
Thank you.
We will appreciate and we.
And I just want to add that our guests are listening when they leave the show. They go through the comment section, and so they're taking your feedback into consideration. So please don't give up. Don't think just because they're not here to answer you that it means that they're not paying attention. We are. Thank you so much for your comment, caller.
Yeah. So we take this person. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
My name is David, calling from Virginia. How are you?
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Hi, Glendy. Hi, Dr. Francine. Glendy, I'm not going to give my full name because you're going to jump right on me, but I'm most impressed by both of the panelists today. They articulated their points very well, and I'm impressed, and I look forward to them implementing what they said. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let's take this person. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Nelson Kola.
Yes, you're live. Your name and where are you calling from? You're on the radio.
My name is Amadou Double, and I do call on New Georgia.
Okay.
I want to appreciate Kola for what she said on the program. I just don't want her to be like the past regime where when and press people follow the president, where when they report the negative issue, like white poker in Bomi County, where Joya was boo and the journalists from OKSN reported it and they banned them from, following the president again on anything. I just don't want for it to be that I pray that she may be able to take good steps and let them give chance to the press to report, be a negative or positive, so that we'll be able to get good information from that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's take this person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from? Yeah.
Hello, Nelson.
Yeah, hello, you're live.
Thank you. This is Edward Spencer Intro.
Oh, Edward Joe. It's good to have you.
I need to borrow. I want to comment Spoon. Again, Amin Modad is surprising tonight. I mean, when I appoint I was like, Amin Modad, but him very proof beyond all reason that I have back in my mind that he will be confirmed. And I want to say how to Spoon. Look, the panel that I Spoon have now, which they bring my way, I think my mate, Amula, my guy have also stand up class panel. And I said before, but I mean, Spoon is also stand up, man. Thank you for the great job.
Thank you for your contribution tonight. We take this person. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Hey, my name is Kennedy, calling from the Twin City, Minnesota.
Go ahead, Kennedy. Let's hear you.
We should not sugarcoat the whole thing. For investors, especially we that outside America, to invest in our country, we need security. We need to reduce the crime rate in our country. We know we can't put it to an end because every country has crime rate. But if I would take my hard-earned money to go in our country to invest it, I don't want to be sleeping in the night with my one eye open and worrying that I will be robbed or my business that I got on Broad Street tomorrow, it won't be there. And then, so I know that Amin Modad, or how you call him, has said a lot of good
Amin
things.
Modad. Amin Modad.
He has said a lot of good things. But the point there is that we need security in our country. We need real security in our country.
Okay.
So that's the main thing we should work on. All that thing he said, it mean nothing to me. But if I have 5 people put in our country, I want to make sure that there's some security there and thing or something. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution. We take this person. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Thank you. My name is Alfred Dennis the second, and I speak to you from Johnsonville.
Okay, go ahead quickly, Alfred.
Let me appreciate the Spoon family and also your studio girls.
Okay.
But this is a problem. Our problem in Liberia is implementation.
Okay.
We always have the fine design, the fine plan, but there are a few things here. First of all, I'm looking at the presidential support, the willpower, and the budgetary support. Because at the end of the day, I may get here inquiring about budgetary constraint. You know, and then people we need to look at from that angle. Everyone go over very good design, but when the money is not there, when the budgetary support is not there, then it becomes very difficult for you to implement.
Thank you.
So my point is, they should be looking for what we call additional sources of revenue, not looking at the old source of revenue. That's what we have there. So
thank you.
Everything now will have to come into place. Innovation will have to come into place. That's the only way to be able to implement.
Thank you,
So I
sir.
really appreciate it, and I really want to appreciate his own family and Jose Nyima Boaka, our president. I'm so happy to hear him as president of the Republic of Liberia.
Thanks
Thank you
for your
so much.
contribution.
Let's
Let's go
do
to
3 more calls, which Glennie and I can go. Just make it 3 more, okay?
Okay, so
Thank
let
you.
me go to the WhatsApp line and take this person. Hello, you're live?
Hello, Nelson. How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. We okay. Let's hear you.
I'm Charlie Freeman calling from Europe,
Okay.
from Cyprus.
Okay, please go ahead, sir.
I'm so glad tonight to be on your platform. Let me commend the Minister Destiny Real Modern for his deliberation tonight. You know, I learned a lot from him as a student of international business and trade. I learned a lot from him. But one thing I want to understand from him or make clear is from his deliberation tonight, he talks about he been in the ministry for since 2010. If I stand to be corrected. So what have been his role? Because the Ministry of Congress, we understand in the Liberian sector right now, he has been one of the done by ministry.
Okay. So are you asking for his role? Are you asking for his role in the sector, or what? You want to go to the point, sir?
I'm to the point. I'm to the point, sir. I'm to the point.
Okay.
I'm saying we understand from the Liberian politics and the government ministries.
Okay.
That one the Ministry of Commerce has been one of the Dumba ministry when it comes to performance and when it comes to meeting Liberian people needs. The Ministry of Commerce is not been performing for times in the world.
Okay.
So and he has been in that ministry from according to him from since 2010. 2010.
He has been in the ministry.
Yeah, he said it. He said he been in the ministry from 2010. That is from Madame Sari's time. Right? I stand to be corrected. He said it.
Anyway,
so now my question is, what has he been doing in the ministry since 2010 up to present?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Oh my God. Hello?
Yeah, have you concluded, or you want to do that quickly? So we seriously running out of time.
My conclusion is, since 2010 up to present, he's been in the ministry. What happened is, bro? What has he been doing?
Okay, what role did he say he been playing in the ministry? Because I didn't capture that. Honestly speaking, I didn't capture that aspect where maybe he said he has been in the Ministry of Commerce. What did he say was his role at the ministry?
So this is where my concern lies. He said he been in the ministry since 2010.
Okay, sir. Okay,
And
thank you.
we not seeing any role of him. We not seeing any contribution in message to help the Liberian business up to present until he became minister before he start doing what he's supposed to do.
His point is well
That's my
taken, but I
concern.
didn't remember hearing that.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Thank you.
we missed that.
Thanks a
Your
lot
point is
for
well
your
taken, Kola.
contribution. Let me take this final one, Dr. Richardson. Oosh.
Yes.
The final one to the final one.
Don't be like your boss.
I'm telling you.
So let me ask the last question. This is the last one.
The last one to the last one. No, the WhatsApp has frozen. So
Oh, very good. No. Yeah, sorry, guys. It was really, really awesome. Just being with you on this Saturday evening. We look forward to seeing you again on Monday. So have a good evening, Glendy. I'll
Good
talk
night.
to you later. Okay.
All right. Good night, Doc. Good night. Good night, Nelson.
I see. You gotta start making your plans because everybody looking for you to pick them up. You gotta start some kind of bus. Because everybody, at least one phone call. I said Nelson will come here. So I think I see my business now. I'll see you later. Bye.
yeah, thank you, Dr. Richardson. All right,
Bye.
good night. Okay. Well, folks, again, we want to say thanks to all of you out there for being here tonight with us on Liberia's premier talk show, The Spoon Talk. We've been on radio and online. On radio, we are broadcasting on several frequencies across the country. Um, Spoon is 107.5 FM, Fabric is 101.1 FM, and Super is 95.5 FM. That's for the Spoon Network. We've been relayed on several community radio stations across the country, not just community radio stations. So you have Punch 106.7 that relays this program as well. We want to say thanks to the team there at Punch FM for always relaying the Spoon Talk. Thanks to the folks there at Trust FM 88.7 in Bombay County. Premier FM is 98.1 in Bond County. Uh, and that captures a portion of Lofa as well as Bapulu and Nima counties. That's for Premier FM. We are being relayed on that radio station as well. We're relayed on Gibi FM 90.9 FM in Kakatama, Gibi County, as well as Trend Radio 104.7 FM in Grand Crew County, plus a host of other radio stations across Liberia. We say thanks to all of you following us via your radio. And online, we are always coming to you live on Spoon TV on Facebook, Fabric TV on Facebook, and Super TV on Facebook. For YouTube, we are there, and the YouTube handle is Spoon Talk Live. Thanks to all of you who have been following the program tonight. My name is Nelson Colette, and of course, this is how we like to draw down the curtains on this edition of Spoon Talk. But just before we go, let's bring you this quick commercial here, a wedding anniversary to Mr. and Mistress Joseph Massaquoi right here. There you have it, a wedding anniversary for Mr. and Mistress Joseph Massaquoi, and of course your brother uh, Pastor Dennis of the U.S. wants it for you. He's wishing you both all the best as you celebrate your wedding anniversary. So again, folks, we want to say thanks to all of you out there. You can make up time to join us on the late night show tonight. It's coming up at 1 a.m. Liberian time. So it's gonna be a little over 30 minutes from now. We'll be coming up with a late night show tonight, and you can make up time to join us. All right. And in case you have that special event coming up, maybe a birthday, you have a wedding anniversary, you have that special occasion of yours, or you just want to make someone feel special, you can reach out to the Spoon Network. Of course, we will be able to put a package together for you on that. And maybe you're a business as well. You want to uh, showcase your services or the goods. You want to get your goods off the shelves. Of course, do just uh, you can do just that by reaching out to the Spoon Network, and of course, we will help you do just that. Again, I want to say thanks to all of you across Liberia and across the world for following this edition of Spoon Talk. We'll be back shortly with the late night show. Until then, I'm Nelson Colette. Bye bye for now. Have a good night, and let's meet on the late night show tonight.
Rastafari, kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Yes, what you got today? Skiddy, biddy, biddy, dabado.